Yeah. What he did, he put his tall player in, well, what they did, they face guarded Griner.
Yeah.
The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of UA Local 502 Louisville basketball game starts now.
A delightful Friday night from Ballard High School in Louisville, Kentucky. We welcome you for double dip action on the girls and the boys varsity side. Alongside Mark Evans, I'm John Baldridge. And Mark, a good matchup tonight between Christian Academy of Louisville taking on the Ballard Bruins. First, we got the girls, both teams getting loose out there in front of us, and it should be a fun one here to call with you tonight.
Yes, the whole night should be fun, John. With the Bruins and with the Centurions, as far as on the girls' side goes, Ballard's got a lot of experience, and the Centurions Christian Academy does not. So I think that's going to factor in a little bit tonight. But should be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
You mentioned a Christian Academy team. They come off a win last night. They're playing 3 straight games, second of a 3-day stretch here tonight. They're 4-13 on the year under their first-year head coach and his first year coaching a program in Nick Turner. What's it like trying to build a roster together, bring a program together, and a team that's very young in Christian Academy?
Well, I think it takes patience, number one. And optimism. The head coach has to be very patient. Have to have coaches around them that are very patient. Need to make sure the parents understand and be patient. I mean, patience and optimism and building these young players up instead of putting them down, because it only takes a little bit to knock them down and knock their confidence. And it's already tough because they're going out there against bigger, older teams every single night that are beating them on the court by scoreboard. So it takes a lot of work. And I've heard a lot about this coach, and I've heard really good things about him. So I'm sure he'll handle it. But they'll have some ups and downs.
You mentioned Christian Academy under their first-year head coach, Nick Turner. Ballard's under a second-year head coach, Eric Browning. Browning has a 7-9 team right now, a team that has a little more experience back from their roster in last year. They come off a loss on Wednesday to Charleston, losing their last 3 or 4 games. What have you seen from them on tape?
Well, I just watched them last night twice. I see quality athletes. Coach Browning, very good coach. I see them working to come together. They do have experience. They're playing better than they played last year, the same kids, and that's good. And it's got pretty much the same roster. He did pick up a pretty talented athlete, very talented athlete from Lexington, but she is not able to play tonight. So, and she was, when I watched, she was part of it. But I look for them to press. I look for them to put a lot of pressure on this young Cal team.
Should be a fun night of basketball. We got double dip action here from Ballard. We'll come back and catch up with the Cal head coach next. This is the Countdown and Tip-Off show here on Glycod.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Blunt Dental Group is a high-quality, family-owned dental practice. We are committed to educating our patients, as well as investing in the latest technology to provide more efficient dental care. Our team of licensed dentists and hygienists includes 2010 male high graduate Tyler Blunt, located in the heart of Linden at 8013 New LaGrange Road, Suite 6. For an appointment, call 502-425-7068 or go online at bluntdentalgroup.com. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles.
Innovation is what allowed us to reach for the stars. And now, to reach for the ignition without changing your oil for what feels like forever. Introducing Oil Guard, a Ferris exclusive. This innovative Vanguard oil system lets you go 5 times longer between oil changes. Along with Ferris's patented suspension system, you'll cut faster, mow longer, and reduce maintenance.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com. Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit OperationParent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Polo Real Estate Group, your one-stop real estate source. Founded by 1993 male graduate Dion Reese. Contact him at 502-387-6330 or visit online at polorealestategroup.com.
Welcome you back on the GlideCod pregame show. Catching up with the second-year head coach of the Bruins, Eric Browning. Eric, thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Coach, you come off a loss on Wednesday. You lost your last 3 or 4 games. Take me through the loss against Charleston in that game there.
We just came out a little slow, to be honest with you. We were missing our starting post player was out that game, was out tonight. So I think she would have helped a little bit, but we just came out lackluster, not a lot of energy, to be honest with you.
Kendall Taylor is your leading scorer, averaging over 13 per game. What does she bring to this team?
She is an old school player. She is a mid-range specialist. 15-footed in is kind of her niche, and not a lot of players do that nowadays. So I really like her being able to get to the mid-range game. Again, it's something not a lot of players have nowadays.
You're a team averaging about 55 points per game, also giving about 55 points per game. Are you more led on your defense or offense when you go through those practices into games?
We're defensive led, to be honest with you. We give up. Our goal is to give up less than 10 points a quarter if possible. No more than 12 points a quarter is our goal. We haven't achieved that many times this year, but that is our goal. So most everything we do is surrounded on the defensive end.
You got plenty of seniors on the roster. How important is that to have that veteran leadership?
It's huge, especially 2 of the seniors that have been here since they were in freshmen. They've been through some issues, so I'm really trying to make this season end on a good note for them. But it's good having them going through the battles. Again, they've been playing for about 4 years now, so they're very battle-tested.
Met a Cal team a couple times last year. They lead the all-time series 31-13. I'm sure that number doesn't mean anything to you, but when you look back at some of the great matchups they've had over the years with you all, what really stands out about this Cal team as well this year?
Well, unfortunately for Cal, with their changing in coaches of last year, they had a lot of people leave and transfer out. But Coach Turner does a good job. He's got some young kids that can play pretty good. So it ought to be a tough game tonight. I'll be honest with you.
One more for the head coach of the Bruins and Eric Browning. Coach, we just talked about it walking over here. They play 3 straight games coming up. You don't have that. You're only playing again until Monday. But what's the big difference between trying to play those 3 straight games for Browning's squad?
Well, I think it'll help us because we like to get up and down the floor a little bit. And, hopefully with them playing last night and then having to play tomorrow, maybe they don't have the legs that they normally would have. So we're going to try to get them down the floor a little bit tonight because of that.
Coach, best of luck and thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Eric Browning, our day's pregame comments for the Bruins. GlideCod's presentation of high school hoops will be back here at Ballard in a moment.
Go ahead. Pour it on. As thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering. Serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham. Always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes! Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a side of ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech 24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
We welcome you back on the GlideCats pregame show here at Ballard alongside Mark Evans, John Baldridge. Look at the keys into this matchup presented by Blinds Direct. Looking for the best home decor in Louisville? Visit Blinds Direct. They offer custom blinds, wallpapers, and more. Proudly serving Louisville for over 30 years. Visit blindsdirect.com for more information. You mentioned, Mark, how this Christian Academy team is very young, and it's going to be a tough challenge, but if they want to fight in this basketball game, it's going to come down to getting those second chance looks and grabbing some boards here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be the offensive boards that they're going to have to keep the Bruins off the offensive boards. That's going to be one of the greatest keys that they're going to have to deal with. And then they're going to have to find a way to score. And the only way I can think of is through their defense, maybe manufacturing some things through some quick traps, maybe some press, whatever it takes, but to try to turn this Ballard team over a little bit so they get some easy shots.
Yeah, you mentioned for Ballard limiting those turnovers. They've been a team that's been able to get plenty of second chance looks with some veteran roster this year. They come in 7-9. What are some keys they need to do to pick up a win here tonight?
Well, I think the main thing is it's like the flip-flop of what I just said.
Sure.
They need to be very active on the offensive boards. I think they're going to get a lot of second shots. Their shooting percentage is only so-so. So if you're not shooting it well, then you want to shoot a lot, and that's what we're looking to do. And the other thing is just make sure more possessions, no turnovers.
That's Mark's Keys to the Game presented by Blinds Direct. Serving Louisville over 30 years. Visit blindsdirect.com for more information. Tonight's broadcast is authorized by Ballard High School. The reduction rights owned by GlideCod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. I got a chance to catch up with the Christian Academy head coach, Nick Turner. Here's Coach Turner's comments before today's ball game. Back on the GlideCod pregame show, John Baldridge catching up the Christian Academy head coach in his first year in Nick Turner. Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Coach, you guys come off a win last night against KCD at third place, 55-38. Take me through that win.
Yeah, it was good. I'm really proud of our girls. They just came out with intensity, came out with a lot of pressure. They was able to handle the ball well. They was able to be composed in that environment. So I'm just proud of them, the way they composed themselves, and really was just able to finish strong and follow through.
This is your fourth game this week. You have 3 straight. Your second of 3 here today, playing a game tomorrow. How challenging is it to play 3 straight games?
Very challenging. More than anything is mentally challenging because you got to be mentally engaged. It's easy to kind of give up, but just being mentally engaged, especially 4 really tough games in 1 week. But I'm proud of them.
For you, you've been around this game a long time, coaching as assistant coach for a little while on the boys' side, now taking over a girls' program. What's the adjustment been like, flipping ends to go coach the girls' side and also running your first program?
Yeah, definitely adjustment. I would say the biggest thing is just helping the girls to see the bigger picture. We're really young. We got 1 senior, no juniors, 2 sophomores, rest are freshmen. So really helping the team and the culture to see the perspective, to see the end goal. We're trying to rebuild from ground zero and just trying to see the end goal and help them to see the vision. It may not be pretty in the beginning, but by God's grace, it'll actually be what we want it to be. So perspective.
Candace Smith is your leading scorer, averaging about 10 per game. What does she bring to this team this year?
Yeah, so Candace Smith is awesome. She's a freshman. She's really strong with the ball, can shoot the 3, but then also she can get to the basket. And then defensively, she's just a threat. So all around, she's just a great player. She's really young. She's a freshman, but she's really good.
Finally, what are some keys you think need to be done tonight to pick up a win here on the road?
Just being tough. Just being tough with the ball and not allowing just Ballard, just having a lot of upperclassmen to intimidate us, but being tough and just using that momentum from last night to transfer over to tonight.
Coach, best of luck, and thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Also, I'm a Ballard alumni, so I was glad to be back home.
Is indeed. We'll have a fun one here at Ballard tonight. Coming up, Christian Academy and Ballard on Glidecast.
Thank you.
(1965) male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycod.
We welcome you back to Ballard High School on Glycad alongside Mark Evans. I'm John Baldridge as we get set for the first of 2 tonight on the girls' varsity side. And Mark, maybe some final keys you think to be done for both teams here to pick up a win before we get this one underway.
Well, I think basically that the Cal team playing so many games in a row, I think you're going to see a lot of zone from them. I think they're going to try to do that to protect the boards a little bit. But then again, I think he'll mix up some pressing and some trapping just to try to get some easy baskets. From Ballard, I think Ballard's going to do what Ballard does. I don't think they'll change anything. You heard Coach talk about they're going to pressure them. They know that they played several games in a row. They're going to try to get into their bench a little bit, and that might really be a major factor when it comes to the Cal youth.
Both teams get introduced right now. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Interstate Batteries. Get started with Interstate Batteries. They're outrageously dependable. Look at some key players in this matchup. Kendall Taylor really stands out for this Ballard team in her junior year, averaging about 13 points per game. Talked about that with her head coach and Eric Browning, and she can really knock down that 15-foot or anything inside.
Yeah, she's more of a 2-level player, and that's not a negative. It's hard to find kids that can make pull-ups out of transition. She can do that, and she can do that well. She can also change speeds a little bit, hesitate, and get to the rim, which will help tonight, I'm sure.
Candace Smith, the freshman, has been a standout this year. 10 points average per game for her for Christian Academy. They'll try to lead on her tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I watched her on video, she was pretty impressive for a freshman. She just did a real nice job of keeping her composure and taking care of her team.
Underway, here we go on this Friday night. First shot up by Christian Academy doesn't fall, and it's back to Ballard as they'll bring it across and throw it in here to get us underway And they'll move it right to left. We look at the head coaches for both teams. Eric Browning in his second year, record of 20-14 overall. His third year as a head coach was with Highland Latin for 1 year before that, and Nick Turner in his first year as the head coach of Christian Academy's first year as a head coach in high school basketball. 3 looks, and the shot doesn't fall for Joey Smith, and we got a whistle. Official's going to call timeout here. And
got
back
an
and
injury.
forth we go down early. And an injured player down across from us for Christian Academy, so we'll take a break. Still scoreless. 26 seconds down in this ball game in the first. We'll take a time. I'll be back on GlideCat. Some technical problems will stay here as we're back to action, and the injured body down for Christian Academy is Abby Bissett. Christian Academy will have to make a substitution, and Cal will bring it across the timeline.
2-2-1 press by Ballard as we talked. They're going to try to speed it up and turn this young team over.
Pace is going to be a big thing early on in this ball game, it looks like.
I don't think there's any doubt. I think that Ballard's going to start off in that 2-2-1, and you might see him run some man press and some run and jump and some three-quarter court, some 1-2-2. Those are all things you might see him do, all with trapping.
And the elbow line jumper, no good there, taken by Klein, and back to the Bruins. Their second possession, and Lyons has it up top.
Nice ball movement, great skip to the corner. You'll always like to see that.
Shot doesn't fall, and we got a couple players underneath the hoop. Christian Academy trying to get their hands on a 3-second violation. 2 possessions each way. Still scoreless, a minute in. Both teams trying to feel each other out here early on. In the corner.
Yeah, you see that trap right off the bat, John. I mean, like I said, they're going to trap everywhere. They're going to run and jump and trap and try to take advantage of their experience over the youth that they're playing against.
It's a very young Christian Academy team. You can see it out there, and they talked about that with their head coach and Nick Turner in his first year, trying to rebuild a program from the ground up, and you got to start with young players.
Absolutely. Cal's in a 2-3 zone. As we spoke, that would probably happen. The Bruins don't shoot it that well from the outside, so they're going to try to take advantage of that, being the Centurions.
Inside they go with Klein, trying to dump it down low. And Christian Academy able to get it back. Free throw line jumper, no good by Hendricks. And still scoreless. Under 6 we roll in the first. To the corner. Lyons using the baseline and draw some contact. Second foul here on Christian Academy with 5:52 left in the first. First of 2 tonight. Fun action to come with the varsity boys action later as Ballard makes the substitution. Christian Academy playing 3 straight games, Coach, and got to be a challenge mentally as well as physically out there.
Oh, no doubt. And as we talked about, experience has a lot to do with that, too. It's a lot tougher when they're younger to, they got to learn those lessons. But they're playing a 2-3 zone right now. Probably a smart thing to do. That will save a little bit of their legs.
Ballard taking their time. They get it inside with Lyons, and she has the first points for either team. Serena Lyons knocks it down, and a 2-0 Bruin lead.
Looking to trap at half court with the 2-2-1 press. They had a place to pick the ball up at, but got fortunate.
And the first foul by the Ballard bench here on the Bruins in this first quarter.
Yeah, the Centurions are going to need to attack the middle a little bit against that pressure, no doubt about it.
Good crowd has filed in for this early tip at 6 o'clock on the girls' side. Free throw line jumper up in the air, no good, and back to Ballard.
Ballard pushing the ball.
Lyons moves it around the perimeter. Three ball from the left side, no good. And the rebound taken away by Cal. Trying to get it across half court and fling it out of play.
I'm impressed. Cal's trying to get the ball out and run a little bit. I didn't know if they could do that or not. Just have to take care of it, keep it inbounds.
Well, you talked about it on your inside look, trying to limit those turnovers for Ballard, and I feel like Christian Academy's done a good job of that so far as they take it away here.
Absolutely. Pretty quick.
2-on-2 break. Wall all the way to the cup and has a chance for one more. Reagan Wall, the freshman, on a very young team, puts it in, and a chance for Christian Academy to take a 3-point lead.
Well, Reagan did a nice job of playing the passing lane, making the steal, and finishing at the other end strong. She definitely didn't go away from contact.
Wall, a 55% free throw shooter, making her 13th appearance on the season. One more to come, and the free throw is no good. Got a whistle. I believe a lane violation.
I think we got a do-over coming, John.
That's one thing you got to teach as a coach and being around a long time. And practice that in practice, not jumping over the line on free throws.
Oh, absolutely. You run a lot of plays out of your free throw shots anyway, as far as when you're going from defense to offense, but definitely so.
Wall gives Cal a 3-2 lead, their first lead here to jump and start this ball game tonight. Inside they go with Lines again. 15-footer doesn't fall, but a second chance corralled by Joy Smith. Back to Serena Lines, hands it off. Jumper by Taylor, their leading scorer. Hits the rim out of play, and it stays again underneath, and another look for Ballard.
It's going to be a tremendous challenge for the Centurions tonight as far as keeping Ballard off the glass. So far, they're dominating the offensive glass. They're just not finishing.
Looking in for their leading scorer, and Taylor falls out of her hands. And back to Christian Academy. 2-on-1 break. Inside they go. Klein all the way to the rack, and she's fouled and has a chance at the line. Forcing the tempo here early on for the Centurions.
Absolutely. As we talked, they have to find ways to get easy baskets. Ballard's so big compared to them. They need to expose either through a turnover or through just pushing the basketball in transition.
Catherine Klein at the line, the 7th grader, knocks down the first.
That was an impressive drive by her. She went in strong with her left hand. And you like to see that left side, left hands protect the basketball.
Klein, a 67% free throw shooter, and goes 2 for 2. 5-2, Christian Academy lead. Serena Lines, 3-ball from straight on, no good. Rebound back to the Centurions. They'll push the tempo inside again and all the way to the hole. Got down underneath, and Smith has the deuce. Timeout Ballard. Will break. 3:49 to go in the first. An early lead for Cal on the road.
.1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one.
Welcome you back here to Ballard High School. A 7-2 Cal lead early on in this first quarter, and a timeout used by Ballard, and they turn it over here. But what do you think was talked about with Eric Browning in that timeout?
Well, I think he talked about it's okay to go to the offensive boards, but you better be slowing the ball down and getting back in transition defense. I think that Ballard's been very casual getting back, and I think that the Centurions have really actually surprised me. They're really taking it right to the basket and doing a great job.
Inside, 5-footer doesn't fall, and back to the Bruins. 3-ball from the left side by Corrala, and she's got it from long range. Wall takes some contact in the lane, missed it, stays with it, and has it for 2. Able to get it inside multiple times so far for Christian Academy. 3 ball on the other end, and it falls for Serena Lyons. Back to 1-point game. The deflection will keep it with Christian Academy.
Well, so far, the Centurions has done a great job of getting back in the transition defense and getting into that 2-3 zone. It's just now, though, those couple threes just opened it up back up for the Bruins.
Smith has it right side. Hendricks pulls a 3. No good. And a whistle as Ballard took some contact. Officials right there to see it. It's a Ballard team, as we mentioned, 7-9. Christian Academy 4-13. But these teams have met a lot of times in the school program all-time. Cal leads the all-time series 31-13 and won a couple matchups last year. Kind of a young team for both of these schools out there. And another 3 up in the air, and it's good. Ariana Rogers, and gives Ballard the lead back here with 2:10 left.
John, Cal had some really, really strong years where they were tops in the 7th, not the top of the 7th region, but right up near the top. And they took a real advantage of Ballard had dropped off for a few years. So that's where that came from.
It's been back and forth, and kind of the battle we weren't expecting. Slow pace, but so far it's been quick tempo down the floor, and we got to tie up here.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I watched a couple films on each of them, and I didn't see this. I saw more of it from Ballard, but I didn't see it from Cal. But I'm really impressed with the way they're running the court and getting back on defense.
Ballard gets it into Rogers. Pulls a 3, no good. Trying to keep it alive as Christian Academy and able to do so. They get it ahead to Smith, all the way to the cup. And we got to tie up underneath. Missed the shot. And the jump will keep it with the arrow.
Yeah, that was quite a block shot. Pursuit from behind and got him near the rim to put that one on the rim.
12-11 our score. 1:30 left here in this first quarter.
2-3 zone by Ballard.
Smith, 3 ball, she's got it. Every time down the floor, it feels like someone gets open for Christian Academy, and they've been able to answer from distance so far.
Yeah, they're moving the ball really well against the 2-3 zone and getting open looks, as well as Ballard's doing the same.
Reinhardt puts up a 3, doesn't fall, and it's back to the Centurions. Inside they go. Klein from 5, no good, and rebound back to Reinhardt. Under a minute left here in this first quarter. Lyons inside, pulls from 5, and a runner doesn't fall.
Yeah, split the zone that time, but the runner was short.
We got to travel out front. Go back to Ballard. Trying to cut this early deficit.
Thought we might see more turnovers too, John, but so far we've only had 4 by the Ballard side and 2 by the Christian Academy side.
Christian Academy's gone with that 2-3 as a 3 ball again by Ariana Rogers is good. Back to a 1-point game. Inside. As Wall gets it back up top for the Centurions. Wall taking some contact on the baseline, double team. And it flicks out of play with Christian Academy.
I'm sorry, John. I think we may see Ballard switch out of that, or Christian Academy switch out of that 2-3, maybe a 3-2. I know he plays some 3-2 or 1-2-2, just to take away the wing threes.
Klein from 6 feet, straight on, no good. 1-point game, under 10 left in the quarter. 3 ball, right side, and it's good. Ballard back on top. And that will be the end of the first quarter. Back and forth, fast pace after 1. We head to the second. Ballard on top by 2 on Glyca.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville. You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycod.
John Baldridge alongside Mark Evans welcoming you back to Ballard High School. A 2-point lead for the Bruins after one quarter play, and both teams kind of feeling each other out there, Mark, and the 3-ball falling by both teams.
Yeah, it was a little ugly early, but all of a sudden both teams found the range and knocked down multiple threes.
As Rogers puts one up there, doesn't make it. But a travel gives it back to Ballard underneath the Cal hoop. 5 seconds in here in the second. And Cal almost takes it away. Reinhardt gets it back and looks inside for Lines, and there's a turnover. Back to Klein. Christian Academy goes inside with it. And deflects out of play.
I tell you what, Catherine Klein has no fear. You know, she's a 7th grader, but she takes it right to the basket, that's for sure.
Cal gets it in. Inside looking there for Wall and loses it. Back to Lines, and she'll reset it up top. Inside they get it. In the paint, no good. Second chance doesn't fall. A third look doesn't fall as well. 3 clean looks there for Taylor. And back to the Centurions. Wall.
Great backdoor cut.
Inside
and a finish.
Goes Quinn. And a nice move by Palin Quinn has the 2.
Yeah, good pressure release. Kid turned her head, and she went back door and knocked it down.
Corrala got it from long range, and it's back to a 3-point game. .2017 here in the second. At Ballard. Inside goes Klein. Leaves it short. 2-on-2 break, and it deflects out of play. Full head of steam by Taylor.
Yeah, that was a great hustle by Palin Quinn with a little back tip there to prevent Ballard from getting an easy basket. Staying in the 2-3 zone. I thought we might see a little 3-2 mixed up a little bit, but not yet. I think Cal's extended a little bit to try to take away the 3.
Do you think that has anything to do with playing 3 straight games and 3 straight days? Dropping to his zone defense?
I think sometimes it can be the reason. I think in this particular game, I think that the Centurions know that the Bruins don't shoot the ball.
Chance, and she's got it. 5-point Ballard lead.
Yeah, finishing the thought, I think it's more about the Centurions thinking that Ballard's not going to be able to make outside shots, but they are right now.
Inside, Quinn trying to dump it down low for Wall. Deflects out, keeps underneath with the Centurions. Brooklyn McAllister will check in as Cal makes a substitution. We'll get it in for Quinn and back up top. Klein dribbles on the deck and loses it. Try to sneak in past that 3-point line, and a pass ahead by Ballard. Taylor took some contact, no foul underneath the hoop. Deflects out, stays with the Bruins.
Yeah, great block actually. Didn't make any contact hardly at all. She just kind of came down funny, but got the ball from behind and got it high.
They'll throw it in with Lines. And swing it to the corner. 3-ball once again by the lefty and Maya Corrala, and she's got it once again from range. 25-17. Inside goes McAllister, and call for the travel.
Yeah, Ballard's really picking up the tempo. They're picking up their defense, a lot more energy. And they're making their shots, and when you make some shots, you can get in your press is a little bit easier.
An 8-point Bruins lead here at home on this Friday night.
Yeah, big next 5 minutes or so, I would say, John, for those Centurions. They really need to hang in there.
Carissa Lyons has it, the freshman, and dumps to the corner. 3-ball no good, but another second chance opportunity taken away by her sister and Serena Lyons. Gets it inside for Taylor in the paint. Swirled the iron, no good. Rebound back to the Centurions, trying to cut this lead. To the corner, 3-ball by Quinn, doesn't hit anything. Rebound by Lyons in the corner, and we got a tie-up. Cal got their hands on it and forced the jump.
Yeah, just too many turnovers there for the Centurions right there through that little strand. It really hurt them. They're just not getting any shots. They've only had 3.
Kendall Taylor will check out, the junior, their leading scorer for Ballard, averaging about 13 per game. And has taken some contact underneath that hoop early on today and really been kept in check. Cal will try to figure it out and throw it in here.
The Ballard's really picked up their defense, playing man-to-man on the inbound. That's hard to do, but
McAllister.
They did a pretty good job of it so far.
Back out for Hendricks from the top of the arc, no good. Flex out and we'll go back to the Bruins. Cal's got some clean looks in this quarter, but haven't been able to capitalize.
No, they haven't. It's been a tough one for them. Like I said, though, the defensive intensity of Ballard's really picked up. Ballard's in a 1-3-1 set now against a 2-3 zone, trying to work and maybe get the ball to the middle or shoot the 3 on the wing, which they did.
Around the perimeter again, and Mike Corella has it from range to make it an 11-point lead, the biggest lead for the Bruins. Inside goes Hendricks, all the way to the rack, had an easy layup but missed it. Rogers from long range, right side's got it. A nice pass by Lyons, and the biggest lead for Ballard. Up 31-17, 4 minutes to go here in the second. We'll take a timeout. Be back on GlideCat.
Not just blinds. Blinds Direct. Not just blinds.
GlideCat on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/GlideCat.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from GlideCat.
For the latest updates on all things high school athletics and continuous score updates, visit GlideCat.com. We really enjoy what we do, and we support all the high school athletics. A good game here tonight at Ballard between Cal and the Bruins. And the Bruins, their biggest lead so far, Mark, up 14 right now.
Well, they picked up the defensive pace without a doubt, and the press has picked up and gotten better, and I think Cal's having to play too fast, and pretty much they're getting one shot and out. That's all they're getting, if they get that.
To the corner. Now taking their time, they get it inside with McAllister, and she lays it in strong off the cylinder.
Very nice, great take, and worked her body and got the ball around the defender real well with that one.
Back up top, 3-ball by Carissa Lyons, and the freshman's got it for 3.
Well, the Bruins will beat a lot of teams tonight if they were going to shoot the ball like this. I mean, they are lighting it up from the 3-point line. Just in the first quarter, they were 5 of 11, and they're even better this second quarter.
Smith inside takes some contact, and Candace Smith will shoot 2. Biggest lead for the Bruins, and have dominated this second quarter.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, not only they've hit 3 straight threes, and they've hit let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threes in the second quarter already. Two-pointers by the Centurions. It's complete flip-flop, and it's a turn-on. I mean, they're really getting the energy, and it's really making it hard on the Centurions.
Smith, a 69% free throw shooter, misses the first and has one more. Smith, 2 games this year over 20 points. Goes 1 for 2 there.
Yeah, we might see legs. You know, we might be seeing the kind of schedule they played this past week or so and all those games together. Once their legs go, their shots go. And once their shots go, then they're going to be in real trouble.
It's not a very deep bench as well for Christian Academy.
No, it doesn't seem to be. And it's a very young bench.
Ballard turns it over and back to Christian Academy. Klein inside. Gets it back to Smith at the left point. 3 ball is no good. Right there, a second chance as Klein gets it underneath and is fouled.
Nice job of finding a gap and getting through, and Ballard forgot about blocking out that time too. So I think they were already going to the other end of the court trying to get out quick.
Catherine Klein corralled the miss, and now the 7th grader has 2 at the stripe, and the first, no good. Klein, a season high of 15 points back at Fern Creek on December 5th this year. Playing her 17th game tonight and a 67% free throw shooter. 1 more to come. And the righty's free throw is good. So 1 for 2 and a 13-point game.
Looks like a defensive change that time.
Inside they go for Joy Smith. Beautiful pass and left alone and has the deuce.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to go man-to-man and trying to match up in the open court. That never works out real well for the Centurions that time. Ballard just took the ball right through them.
Klein inside to the free throw line. Dumps for McAllister. Looking to get it back up top. And we got a travel called. A little sloppy on the offensive end for Christian Academy, and they turn it over.
Yeah, I think Ballard's size and speed and length is really giving them fits right now. They're trying to force drives, and there's really no ball reverse or movement. Every play is a tough play. Back to the 2-3 zone, too, for the Centurions.
Lines sets it up top and dumps for Corrala. No good. Rebound back to the Centurions. They get it inside, underneath to the left block. No good there for Smith. Deflects out of play and stays with Christian Academy. Cal's been forcing the tempo, but just haven't been able to get the ball in the bucket this quarter.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I think that's how they're going to play. They're going to attack the basket. But I think the problem is they're running into long players, and they're just shooting it in their hands.
Klein misses the rim there and back to the Bruins. Up top, and they swing it to Reinhardt. Using the baseline and gets it blocked. Katie Hendricks got her hands on it and deflects it out of play. Nick Turner in his first season, we talked about trying to build this program for Christian Academy, but also as a Ballard alum and played here from 2016 to 2020, so it's got to be back. Very cool for him to be back in this building.
Well, we ran into that the other night. We had the old Coach Renner, that's a Hall of Famer, coaching against his protege here then, and that was pretty cool too. And I think Coach played for Coach Renner also, and if he did that, he's going to be a really good coach.
Back and forth we go. 4-on-2 break there for Taylor, doesn't fall, and back to the Centurions. 36-21, 1:15 to go in this first half. Inside with Klein, and she gets it stuffed at the rim. Taylor takes it away, and she'll bring it across the timeline. To Reinhardt, back up top. And back to Reinhardt.
John, every shot that the Centurions are getting are challenge shots. Everything's a challenge.
Serena Lines misses the 3, and a foul here on Reinhardt. Gives it back to the Centurions with 55 left in the half. Reinhardt will check out for the Bruins. And Ballard on top by 15 here into this first half of play.
Ballard remains in the 2-2-1.
First of 2 tonight with the boys coming on later at 7:30. Left side 3 ball rattles home. Nice kick out to Candace Smith, and she'll lay it in on the other end. Goes Taylor. 40-24, 12 to go here in the second. Hendricks looking to get it across. Lyons gets her hands on it. Deflects out with 5 left. Cal will throw it in. As Carissa Lyons back in. Cal trying to get a quick shot here. And is looking to get it in. Ball falls. The floor taken away by Lyons. Hands for Taylor. Shot from half court. No good. And a fun first half of play comes to an end. We head to halftime. We'll get you some stats and get you set for the keys of the second. Your score at the break, Ballard on top by 16, 40-24 here on GlideCat.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time. While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Welcome to Holy Smokes Barbecue.
At Holy Smokes Barbecue, our pitmasters smoke up mouth-watering ribs, chicken, brisket, mutton, and more. From sandwiches to full dinners, with a complete list of sides and desserts. Holy Smokes Barbecue. Just tell them that the man in the big white hat sent you.
Order up.
How's the pork chop taste?
It's pretty good. It's the best one I've ever had.
Holy Smokes Barbecue. Tell them the man in the big white hat sent you.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, a tradition of corporate excellence and community service. For more, visit tfcfamily.com.
Back here at Ballard High School alongside Mark Evans and our producer Jeff Cooper. I'm John Baldridge at halftime of the first game of 2 tonight here between Christian Academy and the Ballard Bruins. The Bruins a strong first half of play, leading 40-24. Tonight's scoreboard is presented by Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering. Tell them the man in the big white hat sent you. 7508 Preston Highway. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 502-968-5385. 5'6", 5'7". Mark, quick comments about that first half. What really stood out to you?
Well, I was really I was surprised. I thought the first quarter, I was really surprised with how well this young Cal played their 2-3 zone, got back on defense, and really attacked the basket in the open court. I think that Coach Browning called a timeout and sort of changed that because I think Ballard was getting back really late. They weren't doing a great job of transition defense, which is always bad about giving up layups. Well, then it turned over. It changed completely, and the game I thought might happen with the experience and the size and the speed and all that of Ballard really did take over defensively. And we might say, well, they shot the lights out. Well, they did, but they made life so hard for the Centurions to get even open looks. Most of the shots the Centurions got after that, they shot right in the hands of the Bruins, and there were no whistle breaks. I mean, they got no foul calls, and I'm not saying it was poorly called. I'm not saying that at all. I thought it was really well called. But unfortunately, I think the Centurions ran out a little bit of gas, and then, I mean, there for a while, the Bruins just couldn't miss. I mean, we'll get to the stats here in a minute, but they shot the ball really well from the outside, which shocked me a little bit.
I was surprised, though, Christian Academy got out to a strong start. A very young team, a new coach. Now they've won the last 9 matchups, but a whole new roster, it feels like, this year. But they played pretty well in that first half overall.
Oh, I thought so too. I was really impressed with them. I mean, I looked on that roster, and as I said earlier, I don't remember ever seeing a roster that young.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of times when they had a coaching change there, and this is first-year coach, I gave him a great amount of credit for coming in. He knew the situation. I think some of the players left, and some of the players graduated. He knew he'd have this young of a lineup, and I think he's doing a great job, and I think they responded to him in the game extremely well.
We'll take a timeout at half. A 16-point Ballard lead on Glycat.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tinsley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tinsley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
You cannot depend on Carl to make peace with his seatbelt. Or on Beth to choose the best meal to go.
Is that soup?
Or on Stephanie's perfect parking spot to stay perfect. But you can depend on their car starting because they have Interstate batteries. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Innovation is what allowed us to reach for the stars. And now, to reach for the ignition without changing your oil for what feels like forever. Introducing Oil Guard, a Ferris exclusive. This innovative Vanguard oil system lets you go 5 times longer between oil changes Along with Ferris's patented suspension system, you'll cut faster, mow longer, and reduce maintenance.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycon.
Back here at Ballard High School, a 16-point lead for the Bruins as we get to the second half. Some quick stats from that first half that really stood out to you.
Well, I think the most important stats is the amount of shots that's been taken by Ballard versus the amount of shots that's been taken by the Centurions. The Centurions were 8 for 20 for 40% from the two, 3 of 8 for 38%, and 4 of 7 for 57%. But the Bruins were 15 of 37 for 41% and 10 of 20 from the three-point line for 50%. That's the big stats.
First half stats brought to you by German American Bank. Support German American Bank. Get the German American Bank Spirit Card. Visit GermanAmericanBank.com. First two go to the Bruins.
Bruins stand the 2-2-1, trying to finish this thing off is actually what they're doing.
Looking inside and a bad pass.
And created a turnover.
Goes back to Ballard. Crowd's filing in. It should be a fun night of basketball. We got another one after this on the boys' side coming up at 7:30.
Yeah, turnovers is hurting the Centurions in this game. They had 9 in that first half, and that really made it tough.
What is Cal need to do, even if they are able to fight back in this one, just to be happy with the performance here on the road tonight?
Well, I think just by the way they fought, they should be happy with their performance. I don't see any attitude or lack of effort. All I see is a bunch of kids fighting their tails off, but I see them a little bit outmatched. So I think they just need to hang in there, keep battling, and win the little battles. Score here, score there. Win the first 4 minutes, win the next 8, whatever. But I'm sure Coach has some goals for him that he's working on.
Inside they go with the freshman and Smith, and she has it for 2. 2 each way to start this second half of play. A minute in. And Lions will bring it up for Ballard here at home.
Yeah, Cal's hanging in there. They're still in that 2-3 zone. I think they're going to take the chances with the outside shot.
Beautiful passing around the perimeter. Got it back to the top of the arc, and Serena Lyons has it from long range.
Yeah, you have to be able, though, John, you got to be able to get out in that 2-3 zone if they're going to shoot threes like that, and at least put some pressure on the shooter. Right now, every shooter is getting wide open looks, and wide open looks are like shooting free throws if they have a good stroke.
3 ball by Klein from the left side, no good. 19-point ball game, and Ballard attempts a 3. Got it tipped, and then ball falls to the floor. Taken away by the senior Hendricks. Flex out and stays with Christian Academy. Only 2 seniors on this Cal team. We mentioned the very little experience on this roster, and it's shown in this first half of play.
Well, and some of the players are getting the most amount of minutes are 7th graders and freshmen, though, too. You have Klein that's done really well. You have Smith that's done really well. Their strengths are youth, and it takes some time. They're playing against some older kids.
3 ball swirled the iron there. They got it back out to Ariana Rogers. In and out, no good. But she'll shoot 3 and go to the line. Very strong passing we've seen so far. Something they got to work on and practice a lot with their head coach and Eric Browning for this Ballard team here in the second half.
Well, Eric does a nice job. He's been around a long time. He's been in a lot of strong programs. I've coached against him many a times, as assistant or whatever. And he knows the game. His daughter was a great player, went on to Bellarmine to play, and she's on the bench helping him out now. He's got a great staff around him. So I'm sure these kids are well drilled. There's no doubt about it. And they're minus one of their best players tonight. And, we haven't even talked about that.
2 for 3 there, and taken right back by Rogers. They get it to Taylor. Extra pass to the corner. 3-ball. Line's no good. And another turnover. Struggle by Cal to get it across the timeline. Inside they go again with Rogers. Took some contact. You mentioned Ballard, and Eric Browning was a former assistant at PRP and Mail for a long time. We mentioned earlier on in the game today that he coached at Highland Latin for 1 year before coming to Ballard last season. And has really ran a good ship here, as you just mentioned a moment ago.
Well, Eric's like I said, Eric has great passion for basketball. Like I said, his daughter was an excellent player. He's been around the game. He's been around in some of the top programs, and he was just itching to be a head coach. And, with his work before, he never was able to do that. But with the job change and this and that, he finally was able. So he's taking full advantage of it. He just loves kids and loves to coach.
Rogers goes 2 for 2 inside with Hendricks. She loses it and stays with Christian Academy. Browning could not be a more approachable guy. Was sitting down here during the JV game, went up to him and got a chance to speak with him and putting together a very promising Ballard team here for 2025.
Well, he's just a class act, and one of the coaches down there, I don't know if anybody remembers the great football game when Mel and that's on ESPN and everything else, where Mel and Trinity had the playoff with the Brom and the other great male player. Well, Corey was the quarterback, and Corey actually coached my daughter sitting down on that bench, in travel ball. So we all have a real good relationship.
Some struggle by Cal to set the offense, and Ballard out to their biggest lead, 51-26, a timeout used by the Centurions. We'll break with 5 to go here in the third on Glycott.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech 24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by Tech 24, a commercial food service repair company. Find out how you can train for a rewarding career and earn top pay and benefits by visiting mytech24.com.
Welcome you back on Glycad alongside Mark Evans and John Baldry. Timeout used by the Centurions. Ballard's really took it to them here in this third quarter. You think they slow it down a little bit, set the offense, and try to slow down this game and possession-wise?
Are you talking about Ballard or are you talking about
Christian Academy?
I think they just have to do what they have to do, John. I don't think there's much chance to slow it down because they're under so much duress on every single shot. They just need to try to get a good shot and get it off.
McAllister inside, took some contact, and Brooklyn McAllister will have one more.
Like I said, she's been impressive. Just attack the basket, zero fear.
You mentioned the youth, an 8th grader for McAllister. Only 2 free throw attempts this year, 0 for 2. And playing in her 17th game, has one more to come here at the stripe. Couple dribbles and the righty's free throw is good. Makes her first free throw of the season, and it's a 51-29 game.
Well, with that stroke, she just hasn't had an opportunity because she's got a good-looking stroke and a good-looking free throw.
Lines up a 3, doesn't fall. And it's back the other way, out of play, to Christian Academy.
Yeah, Christian Academy's got to be feeling a little bit of fatigue right now and handling this press. We'll see how well they do it and if they can stay away from the turnovers and get some shots off.
We mentioned 3 straight games for Christian Academy. Ballard hasn't played since they lost on Wednesday and won't play again until Monday. Inside to the rack goes Klein, got it stripped, and it stays underneath.
Well, I think that, schedules just work out like schedules work out. With all this ice and all this other stuff we had there for that couple weeks, a lot of teams are trying to fill back up and get their games in, so they'll play about any time and any day or any whatever.
For a person out there who doesn't know how that works, when you have to cancel a game, what's the problem? What's the challenge of trying to reschedule it?
Well, you already have a set schedule. And certain teams you just have to play because your districts, your regions, and different things like that. But every region is a little bit different on what they expect you to do and how many times you have to play each opponent and all that type of thing. But with Louisville, it's pretty wide open.
3 ball taken there and falls for Rogers. Nice kick out.
Coach is pulling out of the press, so he's trying to get his kids to do. They were over-eager, and he wants to get out of the press, and that's the classy thing to do. And as I said, Eric's very classy, and the coach for Cal does a good job.
25-point Bruins lead. Looking to get one game back under 500. Flex out of play and stays with the Centurions.
Yeah, as we talked, though, John, and then as I talked to Eric earlier, just catching up with everything, he said, they really let a couple games slip away they really shouldn't have had slip away. They're definitely better than the record, and I think we're seeing that tonight.
Klein gets inside and got it stuffed. Pass ahead, looking for Carissa Lines, and the younger sister has it for 2. Beautiful pass, and the freshman had the deuce. 3:10 left here in the quarter.
Yeah, Ballard's in a man-to-man and just falling back. They're not going to press anymore tonight.
Catherine Klein inside once again and took some hard contact.
I'll tell you what, I really like Catherine Klein. I'm really impressed with her. She uses her left hand well. She uses her right hand well. She handles the ball well. And she's feisty. She just doesn't seem to let anything bother her. She just plays. I really like watching her play.
Klein strong off the glass. Doesn't fall. Rebound to their leading scorer in Taylor. Coast to coast she goes. Got all the way inside and has the layup. Beautiful move. McAllister on the other end and is called for the travel.
Yeah, turnovers are really starting to mount up for the Centurions.
You're starting to see that size play a factor here later on in this ball game as well.
Well, I thought you saw it in the second quarter when you really started. And when the energy picked up for Ballard. I know Eric talked about they came out flat in that last game. They kind of came out flat tonight, but then they turned on, and I think the energy just overwhelmed the Centurions.
3 ball left side, and it's good. Reinhardt, the junior, and up to 60, now 61 for the Bruins.
Well, too, John, we're not too far away from 35 points and a running clock. That could very well happen. We're only in the third quarter.
McAllister inside. Got it stuffed. Flex out of play and stays with the Centurions. Looking to get it in, and a bad pass taken away at the logo by Taylor, and has it for Ballard for 2 points. 2:10 left here, and 1 point away from that 35 mark. 3 ball, though, answers.
Great job of a drive the lane and kick to the open shooter, and she knocked it down.
Katie Hendricks, the senior, has the 3. Lines around the perimeter, looking inside, and dumps it down low for Taylor.
Pretty diagonal pass, not a doubt about it. Beautiful pass.
Working around the perimeter. Cal trying to answer. They got it to the left corner. And able to hang on was Reagan Wall, and it goes back to the Bruins. Some frustration out there. You can kind of see it starting to show for Christian Academy.
Well, yeah, I mean, they fought hard all day. They just had a hard time getting shots off, and that weighs on them a little bit. But they'll learn from the experience. As we spoke to the coach, he's a very positive person. He'll keep them up. He'll keep them going.
First of 2 tonight, 7:30. Boys varsity action between Christian Academy and Ballard on Glychem. Stay tuned for that. Taylor to Reinhardt. 3 ball at the left point. Bullseye.
Yeah, Reinhardt likes that shot. She's pretty deadly.
1:15 to go. Klein in the third quarter gets inside the paint and is fouled. Catherine Klein out of the line for 2. And a running clock now, Coach, as you mentioned, after the 35-point mark.
Absolutely. It will go by quick. The shot attempts will go down quickly, no doubt about it. It moves.
First by the 7th grader in Klein, and knocks it down. Klein, a 67% free throw shooter. And has one more here at the line to come. Free throw up in the air, and no good. But a second chance, able to keep it alive is Smith, and lays it in.
Yeah, nice job by Candace Smith staying with the play and then finishing on the play.
Lines inside to Taylor. Gets to the free throw line.
Like to see him swing the ball a little bit better, but
back to
nice
Taylor,
shot.
And she has it from 15 feet. The coach talked about it, and Eric Browning, that shot inside 15 feet she really trusts with Taylor. Strong example there. 3 ball doesn't fall by the Centurions, and back to the Bruins. Lines looking for Taylor again. She gets in from 5 feet here and left it short. Tips up in the air and back to the Centurions. Klein, one-on-one break, gets the cup and left it off the rim, no good. 9 to go here in the quarter. Taylor, the Lines, 3 to go, gets inside the 3-point arc. 10-footer doesn't fall, and a strong third quarter for the Bruins comes to an end. We head to the fourth, a 70-35 Ballard lead at home on Glycat.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycod.
70-35 after 3 quarters of play. Bruins on top in the first of 2 here on Glycod. And Cal with the basketball inside. They get it and left short there by Quinn. Good look, and back to Taylor.
Yeah, nice job of pressure release, little backdoor cut, just didn't make the shot.
Taylor no good. Second chance by Lines and gets it stripped. Taken away and trying to go coast to coast. Goes Smith. Didn't hit the rim, but a second chance.
Yeah, but Ballard's challenging every single layup. I mean, they're right there to either block it or foul or do whatever they need to do. So there's no easy shots out there today.
And a foul underneath as Ballard got it inside. And they'll go to the line. Running clock here as the crowd filing in on this Friday night for the boys' game to come. After this one, we'll have the coverage for that. The Ballard's women's team trying to get one game back under 500, set 7-9 on the year. And the first free throw falls. (71-35), and one more to come at the stripe. Free throw falls, and 2 for 2. There for Kennedy Gatewood. Ballard going to the back half of the bench with the big lead.
Yeah, absolutely, working on their man-to-man defense.
3 ball by Quinn, who saw action in that second quarter, back in the fourth, and left it short. Taylor gonna bring it across and swing it to the corner. 3 ball by Carissa. Lines and line it up, and it's good. 40-point game. Quinn dribbles on the deck and gets it back up top. Decline. Back to Quinn. Has some trouble getting it inside here for the Centurions. Smith hands it off for the senior and Katie Hendricks. Inside of the free throw line jumper, and it falls. Rattled home for Candace Smith.
Yeah, nice little pull up by Smith. Just took her time and got to the middle of the paint and knocked it down.
Back up top, and Gatewood gets it stripped. Taken away by Klein and gets all the way inside and left it short on the layup.
Yeah, that was a shocker. I watched Klein all day long use her left hand. That time she kind of got caught in between and did not, and it cost her.
Quinn gets inside for Christian Academy, and she has the two. And Ballard wants a timeout. So we'll take a break. It's a 75-39 game with 5:40 left here in regulation on Glycat.
Go ahead. Pour it on. As thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering. Serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham. Always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycod.
75-39, Mark Evans. I'm John Baldridge back on Glycat here at Ballard High School on this Friday night. And the Bruins cruising to a victory here in this varsity action.
Yeah, I've been impressed with their outside shooting. I didn't know coming in that would happen. And by statistics, it not necessarily should have happened, but it has. They've shut the lights out.
Bad pass by McAllister and taken away once again by Ballard. Going inside, and ball hit the top of the rim, no good. Hit the backboard, excuse me. .5:10 left to play. McAllister inside, gets it blocked by Reinhardt. We've seen that size play a factor, and inside a lot of block shots tonight by the Bruins.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of just forced drives by the Centurions.
31-13, have won the last 9 matchups, won both matchups last year, but a new Cal team under a first-year head coach. And it's been all Bruins under their second-year head coach and Eric Browning.
Yeah,
and has really turned around this program here.
Yeah,
last couple of years.
At one time, Ballard was one of the most powerful programs in the 7th region when it comes to the girls. Their time had kind of went away, and now I think coaches Eric's trying to get them back on the right side of it. But it's so competitive in the 7th region. You know, you have to have kids that will buy in. You have kids that will stay with your school and not move to a different school, and all kinds of things you have to battle.
Smith inside left side, gets down to the block and has the deuce.
Very nice. Kissed her right off the glass.
Lyons takes some contact to the elbow and got it taken away. 3-on-1 break. McAllister inside, picked up by Reinhardt in the lane. Drawled some contact, missed it, but she'll shoot two. Excuse me, they're going to call travel first. I thought the contact happened before the carry. They give it back to Ballard.
Oh, so there was a carry called. I missed that one. Yeah. Staying in the 2-3 zone.
Inside they go, and shot doesn't fall. Back to Christian Academy. They're going to call a foul here. This is going to go on Ballard. And Christian Academy gets it back with 2:45 to go.
Well, you know, we talked, John, early about one of the keys for Ballard, not turn the ball over. They had 7 in the first half. They only have 1 in this half, so they've done a really nice job. And that's with playing, you know, several other players that normally don't get as many minutes. So they've done a good job of taking care of the basketball. Plus, the Centurions are playing 2-3 zone, and they've not really challenged them a lot on those types of things.
Ballard hasn't done a whole lot of things wrong in the second half. It feels like another turnover there. as Lyons takes it away. And a foul out front here on Christian Academy.
Yeah, we're into about 16 turnovers for the Centurions at this point in time. But, that's what comes sometimes when they're younger, smaller, not as strong. It's harder to battle these big bodies, and you make turnovers. But all in all, I think they fought their tails off. I'm impressed with Christian Academy.
75-41, 1:40 to go. Inside goes Lyons and leaves it short. So able to get it back up for Christian Academy, and Ballard takes it away now, taken back by the Centurions. Inside goes Smith, and we got a whistle. Foul here with 1:20 left in the running clock. Stay with us, we'll wrap it up in this first game action here and get you set for game number 2 tonight after the conclusion of this girls varsity action. Looking to get it in and throws it away. So back to the Bruins, under a minute, and a cruising 75-41 lead. Eric Browning's got to be happy. If you're Nick Turner, are you satisfied with the second half if you're Christian Academy?
I think you use it as a teaching tool, John. I think he knows his kids. He knows his team. I'm not seeing any kids give up at all. They fought, but they just ran into a hot shooting opponent tonight that had a lot of experience. He'll take it, and they'll work to get better, and they'll break it into, I'm sure he'll watch the tape with them, and they'll talk about it, and they'll move on to the next. That's what you do when you're young.
Got a foul here underneath. This is going to go on Reagan Wall. And give it back to Ballard. This will probably be the final possession as the Bruins will walk out of their home gymnasium and get one game back under 500, go to 8-9 on the year, get off a losing streak as they defeat Christian Academy by a final count 75-41. Cal drops to 4-14. We'll come back, give you our final totals, and get you set for game number 2 here on Glide Cod in a moment.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Check it. Ooh.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville. Ballard Dental Group is a high-quality, family-owned dental practice. We are committed to educating our patients, as well as investing in the latest technology to provide more efficient dental care. Our team of licensed dentists and hygienists includes 2010 male high graduate Tyler Blunt, located in the heart of Linden at 8013 New LaGrange Road, Suite 6. For an appointment, call 502-425-7068 or go online at bluntdentalgroup.com. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time. While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by the Army National Guard. Protect what matters most to you. Visit your nearest National Guard recruiter or nationalguard.com.
Well, the next. Looking you back on GlideCon as Ballard wins the first game of two. On GlideCon tonight by a final count of 75-41. And Ballard really took it to a mark. After that first quarter, it was pretty close, but Bruins able to draw some separation in the second, and it took that to the halftime break and really strong in the third and the fourth quarter.
Well, we talked about that Cal had to do a really good job to keep them off the offensive board. But really, when I think about this game, I think about the second quarter when all of a sudden, after Coach Browning called a timeout, all this energy came into the defense. And once that energy came into the defense, I pretty much felt like that was a difference maker. It would have mattered, it would have been a big deficit, but then they shot the three so well. So those are the two main things that I think that just dictated the last three quarters of the game.
Tonight's most outstanding players are brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance Agent and our good friend Mike Shelton. As I always say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is always there. We look at the most valuable players for both teams. We'll start with the visitors in Christian Academy. I felt like Candace Smith really stood out. The freshman showed her potential, and if she stays around this Christian Academy program for 4 years, will be a star player in the years to come.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I was impressed with the way she used both hands, the way she shot the basketball, and just the way she composed herself and played hard the entire game. I was just never gave up, and just a good player, good future.
Meanwhile, Kendall Taylor in her junior year, as we mentioned, averaging about 13 per game, was kind of kept in check in that first half, but really showed her life and what she can do in that second half and really stood out.
Yeah, Coach Bragg talked about how she can pull up and make little 15-footers here and there. You saw that from her. You saw great leadership from her, and she can step out and knock down the three, too, if she has to, but she's just a solid player.
Tonight's most outstanding players are brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We'll break, come back and give you the final stats from the girls game and get you set for our keys and we expect to see in this boys tip underway in about 15 minutes time. This is the wrap-up show on GlideCap.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech 24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
Blunt Dental Group is a high-quality, family-owned dental practice. We are committed to educating our patients, as well as investing in the latest technology to provide more efficient dental care. Our team of licensed dentists and hygienists includes 2010 male high graduate Tyler Blunt, located in the heart of Linden at 8013 New LaGrange Road, Suite 6. For an appointment, call 502-425-7068 or go online at bluntdentalgroup.com. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
Welcome you back to Glycod basketball action here at Ballard alongside Mark Evans. John Baldridge getting set for the boys game coming up. But some final stats from that first game tonight on the girls' side. And Coach, what were those final numbers that stood out?
I'll start with the Centurions of Cal. 6 of 16 in the second half for 37%. 1 of 3 for 33% from the three-point line. 2 of 3 from the free throw line for 66%. They ended up also that half with 10 more turnovers than they had. They had 9 in the first half, but they had 10 in the second for 19 turnovers. For the Ballard Bruins, that pretty much dominated, as we spoke, from the second quarter on tonight, shooting the ball really well overall. They were 19 of 29 for 66% from the field. They were 3 of 8 from the three-point line for 38%, and this is in the second half only. They're 4 of 4 from the free throw line for 100%. So they had quite the night, shooting the basketball, threes, twos, you name it. They did it well.
We talked about that second quarter being the turning point. Was there anything that Ballard did differently, you thought, from the first, the second, or was it just the pace turned and Ballard was able to do more and Cal just kind of struggled?
Well, I didn't know how fast that the Centurions could play, and I think once Ballard picked up the pace and started the 2-2-1 press all over the place and really taking a lot of chances, even picking up on makes and misses, and just total domination of the glass, I think all that just took its toll. And then after a while, the young ladies from Cal were driving, trying to get layups, and they were basically shooting in people's hands because of the size difference. They couldn't get any shots to go down, so it just went from bad to worse.
We mentioned the experience for Ballard, and they're able to get the win because of it, getting the ball inside and working it to the rim today. Tonight's final stats from the first game are brought to you by German American Bank. Support your community with the German American School Spirit Check Card. Visit GermanAmericanBank.com for more information. Final score one more time from that first game, 75-41, as the Bruins get to 8-9 on the year and get set for a game on Monday against Bullitt East. Meanwhile, for Christian Academy, they drop to 4-14 and play again tomorrow, their third straight game in 3 days against PRP on the road. We'll come back and get you set for a fun night of boys hoops next here on Glycod in a moment.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time. While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Line Direct, not just blinds. Line Direct, not just blinds.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycon.
That was slow.
Welcoming you back here on Glycat as we get set for the boys varsity action tonight alongside broadcast partner Mark Evans, our producer Jeff Cooper, our cameraman Max Gorley. I'm John Baldridge, and fun first game we've had, but should be a more exciting one in the second one. Two teams that are coming in trying to pick up victories. It's a Christian Academy team. They won last night to get off a losing streak. They're 7-9 on the year. Ballard has lost 2 straight. They're 11-6. But it should be a very exciting game.
Well, the 2 games that Ballard lost, they lost to a game that Oldham Kane played in the sky. Coach Renner against his protege. I saw that one. I was there for that one. And the other game that Ballard lost, they lost in the semifinals to St. X, which is the number 1 team in the state, by 2 on a last-second shot in the LIT tournament. So, they played a quality schedule, and they played really well this year. They're a lot different than they were last year. They seem to be together. They flow better. They just seem to mesh better as a team.
Yeah, you mentioned those two losses, losing to Ballard by 2 points in the semifinal of the LIT tournament, and they were outscored in that fourth quarter back on Tuesday night to Oldham County, losing by 3 points, 75-72, and outscored 24-12 in that last quarter of play, excuse me. Meanwhile, we get set for this matchup, and we look at some of the keys for both teams. I think it's really going to come down to how well the pace of play for both teams is here tonight.
Well, I think both of them like to play fast, honestly, but I'm not so sure if the Ballard Bruins don't play it a little bit better fast. I think all in all, they've been together a long time. They played well. Are we working on keys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, it's going to come down to pace. It's going to come down to, I think Ballard's going to pressure him. I think Ballard's going to have to find some players.
But yeah, you talk about two teams that move the basketball well, and a Ballard team that's going to try to slow down Christian Academy with their fast pace, but at some point, it's got to be an even match out there.
Yeah, I think so. I think that Ballard's going to have to, I think they'll attack the interior. I think their pressure defense would be a big key. I think they'll create some easy offense. And I think they're going to have to find J.J. Washington, number 30, for the Centurions. He makes things happen. He runs the show for the Centurions. As far as Cal goes, they're going to have to do great in transition defense. I think that's a strength. The Bruins, they're going to have to keep the Bruins off the offensive boards, and then they're going to have to knock down open looks.
Mark's Keys brought to you in part by Blinds Direct. Looking for the best home decor in Louisville? Visit blindsdirect.com. Serving Louisville over the last 30 years. Tonight's broadcast is authorized by Ballard High School with the production rights owned by Glycod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation of all student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. We thank you very much for being with us and watching tonight. We'll come back and get you set for tip next here on Glycod.
Blunt Dental Group is a high-quality, family-owned dental practice. We are committed to educating our patients, as well as investing in the latest technology to provide more efficient dental care. Our team of licensed dentists and hygienists includes 2010 male high graduate Tyler Blunt, located in the heart of Linden at 8013 New LaGrange Road, Suite 6. For an appointment, call 502-425-7068 or go online at bluntdentalgroup.com. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycod.
Welcome you back on Glycod on this Friday night from Ballard High School. We thank you very much for being with us wherever you may be. Ballard Bruins and the Christian Academy Crusaders here from Ballard alongside Mark Evans and John Baldridge. We're about a minute away from tip. We look at some of the starting lineups in this matchup. The starting lineups brought to you in part by Interstate Batteries. Get started with Interstate Batteries. They're outrageously dependable. Some of the key players in the lineup for both teams. You got to mention Sam Frazier was with this Ballard team last year, and also Blake Russell, as we start with them. Who really stood out to you as you examined them on tape over the last couple of days?
Well, I didn't just examine them on tape. I had their game just the other night, and I guess it was their last game they played, or almost the last game they played. I was extremely impressed with Sam Frazier, as I was last year. He's even better than he was last year, and he's quite active. He does a little bit of everything. He can play great defense, great offense. Blake Russell, he's just a force inside, and they do a tremendous job of getting the ball. A lot of times they're alley-oops. They get him the ball. Reminds me of some of Calipari's teams at one time that would drive the middle and just flip the ball up, and they would knock him down, and he's right there to do that. Plus, he's a presence on the defensive end. You also have to throw in Nate Richardson. He makes this place go. He's lightning quick, super smart, can hit the three, can get to the rim, and what he's really great at is making all of his other players around him even better.
Quick point on Christian Academy. You mentioned J.J. Washington, who also really stood out to you for them.
Well, Connor Hodge. I mean, they have a lot of football players on this team, and they, they came out. I think part of their record early had a lot to do with having football players, and they won the state championship. So he only got him for a little bit. So some of those early losses came from that. But if you look at Boogie Cook, I'm impressed with him. He's a 6-something freshman that can flat play. Kai Turner, Man Robinson, goes on and on and on. But I think that if I had to give the nod to depth, I probably would have to go with the Bruins.
Tonight's starters and key players are brought to you in part by Interstate Batteries. Get started with Interstate Batteries. They're outrageously dependable. The starting lineup's getting introduced, and Ballard about to make their way on the floor. We look at the head coaches for both teams in this matchup. For Christian Academy coming in, they're led by Aaron Hall in his 5th season, a record of 72 wins to 65 losses. He was a former assistant at Cal and also at St. X. And for Ballard, Greg Willis in his 3rd year with a record of 52 wins to 26 losses, was the 2023 7th Reason Coach of the Year, and it was assistant at Ballard between 2006 to 2022. Two programs that have been well known in this city of Louisville, and it should be a very fun matchup here this evening.
Should be a fun matchup. I'm really interested to see how Ballard bounces back from a tough couple of ball games. I do believe they will. I think that we'll see how Christian Academy can respond to the kind of pressure that they're going to see tonight from the Ballard Bruins.
And Mark, I'm glad we got these headsets on because it's loud in here. Without you, I don't know if I can hear you without the headset on.
It is loud. We got a great crowd, fantastic crowd in here, Ballard. I mean, it's great student sections on both sides, mainly on Ballard. Unbelievable. They always support their teams out here. They have a storied program.
Kellen Hall will start, the freshman for Christian Academy, also with Miles Howard, another freshman. They'll go Boogie Cook, a freshman, along with Man Robinson and J.J. Washington. Ballard will have their white jerseys. They'll tip it and move it right to left. Cal in the blue, they'll go left to right. We're underway and set to rock and roll this night from center floor. The tip is up in the air and it goes the way of the Bruins. They'll set up the offense with Nate Richardson. Down low to Frazier. Nick Hayden looks inside, finds the big Blake Russell, averaging over 18 per game, throws it off the glass, no good. Goes back to Christian Academy, their first touch.
Both teams are man-to-man starting the game off, which is very typical.
What do you expect to see here early on tonight?
I really think we're going to see Ballard try to push their tempo and force their pace. I think they feel like they're deeper, and I think they feel like they can make a difference here tonight.
How important is that pace, you think? A huge factor here?
Well, I haven't seen enough of Christian Academy to see them run the court a ton, but the games I've seen them play, which are 2 of them, they run the court well too. They really get out. But right now it's going to be, they better have some transition defense for them because Ballard will get out, no doubt about it.
Baron Clay takes a blocking foul. And 58 seconds in, Ballard throws it in underneath the Crusader hoop. Good crowd on hand here tonight in January. Looking inside. What a pass for Blake Russell. First 2 go to the Bruins.
As I said, John, you'll be impressed with that young man and the way they get him the ball around the rim. And he can finish. He can finish with the dunks or touch.
Robinson at the logo. Looks to hand it off and almost take it away. Gets it to Washington, and he loses it.
We didn't mention that. We didn't hear anything about it, but I don't see Connor Hodge on the court.
He's not in the starting lineup.
No, I think he might be down with the jacket on. He might be out tonight. Well, it looks as if he's out tonight because he would be starting this basketball game.
One of the seniors for the Crusaders, averaging about 10 points per contest. And a travel call there gives it back to Cal.
And a big loss. He's a great leader, He led the football team as a quarterback. He's a Division I player. That's a big loss, and he really makes things happen. That's tough loss for the Centurions.
Howard has it. Miles Howard inside. Gets it back up top. Robinson puts up a three, doesn't fall. Another opportunity kept alive underneath by Boogie Cook and doesn't fall. Rebound back to the Bruins. You mentioned a Crusaders team, 4 players on their roster who played on that football team that won the 3A state championship this past year. 3-ball falls out front and a 5-0 jump.
Yeah, Sam Frazier being Sam Frazier. You can't give him that look.
First foul here as this is going to go on Baron Clay with 5:41 left in the first.
Yeah, Clay, he's very impressive freshman. He's long, he's quick, he plays great defense.
Tight defense to get it in. There another foul. I believe this will go on Nate Richardson there.
It looks like Clay's going to guard J.J. Washington tonight. That ought to be an interesting matchup. Freshman against junior, and the junior at Centurions is the leading scorer for the Centurions, and that's Washington.
Now looking for their first points. And their leading scorer, Washington, inside, gets the rack and leaves it short. 3-on-2 break. Pass to Frazier. And he has it. Nick Hayden has it for the deuce.
Yeah, as we talked, John, earlier, remember I said Ballard needed to probably limit Washington's touches. I think that's what they've done. They put their real good defender, and they're going to just stick with him and not let him get any open looks and make it hard to touch the basketball.
We've seen some tight man defense so far as inside goes Cal with Boogie Cook. Gets the bucket and a chance for one more.
Great spin move. Knocked it down.
Boogie Cook only in his freshman year. And Jordan Boogie Cook, a 58% free throw shooter, making his 11th start on the season. One more at the line. Looking to make it a 4-point game and knocks it down.
As I said earlier, I've been impressed with him. He's an awful strong freshman.
Deflection and taken away. Stolen away by the Crusaders. 3-ball, no good by Robinson. Could have got it inside and back to the Bruins. Settled for the 3 there. Is that the shot you like?
I didn't like it. I would have liked to send some ball reversal off that.
Frazier no good.
Especially when you have someone like Boogie Cook on your team.
Tipped around and we'll go back to Ballard. Look ahead for Russell and throws it out of play.
Well, Russell didn't get the ball that time, but one thing he does really well is rim run. Boy, he might rebound the ball, kick it out, and then he's right under the rim. He sprints the court really well, and they reward him for it most of the time.
We talked about the pace. Both teams are very deep with their bench, so it shouldn't be much of a problem for either team here tonight.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do without Connor Hyde, because he's one of their primary ball handlers. You take a ball handler away from the team as far as playing a Ballard team that puts pressure on you all the time.
Robinson no good on the other end, and it falls. Got it underneath for Nate Richardson, and it's back to a 6-point game.
As we talked, I think that Ballard's going to make them go, 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 go.
Robinson has it out front. Gets it over for Boogie Cook. Back up top and lucky to get it back for J.J. Washington. He attacks the channel, gets inside, and we'll go to the line.
Yeah, I believe J.J.'s going to have to earn his stripes tonight, because I'll tell you what, they're going to be on him entire night. He made a great move, used his body really well, got himself to the stripe, but it's got to wear on you, the type of defense that Ballard's playing right now.
First to come for Washington. And it's good. We talked about his impressive numbers coming in, making his 13th start. Had a season high of 36 back against Lexington Christian on January 4th. Has 7 games this year of over 20 points. Also leads this team in three-pointers, averaging over 22 points per game. Is 76% free throw shooter and goes 1 for 2.
2-2-1 by the Centurions.
Ahead to Russell, and he slams it home.
You got to cover the back, but different look. Talking about the Washington young man, he comes from a basketball family. His father played Division I. His mother played Division I. His sister was a fantastic player in Division I. And his other brother is a player that's playing in college now. So he knows how to play, and he knows how to shoot the ball. He shoots the ball extremely well. He's got beautiful stroke.
They got it to Washington. He misses it. 3 ball by Ballard, no good by Frazier. And back to the Centurions. Cook has it out front, loses it. Taken away by Frazier. Ball falls to the floor and back to the Centurions. Turner inside, 2 defenders on him, and he gets it in for 2.
I'll tell you what, this Centurion team's definitely not backing down, but this is a tremendously hard-played defensive game so far.
3 ball right side, doesn't fall there for the Bruins, and back to Cal. And deflected out with 2:30 left here in the first. We'll stay with Christian Academy. Back and forth we've gone so far. And a fun first 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, great beginning.
Washington and a block way from the hoop. This is going to go on Caleb Miller. And we'll send the Centurions in line for 2 shots.
Yeah, it's a 5th foul.
So Cal in the bonus. And 2 here for J.J. Washington. First is good. Washington, we mentioned 76% from the line. His second trip there today.
Yeah, just got an excellent stroke. Well taught and well coached.
Looking to go 2 for 2 and able to do so. Knights the net. It's a 1-possession game. Pass ahead for Culver. Gets to the corner. Back up top and they'll reset it. Culver over to Hayden. Back to Culver, looking inside and stolen away by Washington. J.J. Washington gets inside the lane. Got the shooter's roll from 4 feet. 1 point game.
Did a great job of splitting the defense. Still in the 2-2-1 press, though. Staying with, they got an eraser in the back with Boogie Cook.
Frazier, beautiful cookout. Culver from long range and has it for 3.
Culver lit up Oldham early last game. He can shoot the 3.
Washington from the elbow and says, I can take that, and knocks it down. Back to 2. 14-12. Culver in the corner. Picked up by Cook. Gets to the left point. 3 ball by Baron Clay, and he's got it from distance.
Yeah, you got on makes, you got Cal 2-2-1 and it falling back into a 2-3 zone, and that's what those 3s are coming against.
Deflected out. We have 70 seconds left here in this first quarter.
Pretty impressive game. I'm really impressed with with J.J. Washington.
Do you think the pace can stay at this rate, playing as fast as we had in this first quarter?
I know Ballard can stick with that pace.
Washington takes some contact. We'll check the foul here.
Yeah, I know Ballard can stay with that pace. And from what I'm seeing right now, Cal can hang right with them.
I'll call that on Jaden Culver, the junior, and we'll send the junior and J.J. Washington back the line for the 3rd time in the quarter. First free throw, no good. That student section packed to the brim. And a good crowd here tonight for this Friday night hoops.
It's always fun to see. Being an old basketball coach, you love to come into these crowded environments, whether it's your environment or another team's environment. It just fuels it, makes it fun.
1 for 2 for Washington. And it's back to 4. Bruins on top here late in this first quarter.
Back to man-to-man defense by the Bruins. By the Centurions.
Hand it off for Frazier. Gets it to the corner. Back up top for Hayden. Culver. Inside goes Culver, and Jaden Culver lays it in.
Well, the The thing that Ballard has going for him, you got 5 and 3 sitting over there on the bench resting. You got 23 resting, and they're still building on their lead. So
inside and an offensive foul. Bully ball home by Guy Turner.
Yeah, anytime you can sit out Blake Russell, Nate Richardson, and Caleb Miller, you're in pretty good shape and increase leads. That's depth. I'm not so sure Cal has quite that depth.
Ballard stood in there and took the charge. And they'll get it back with 25 left here in the quarter.
Man pressure by the Centurions. Falling out of it, though, was just token.
Ballard up 6 to the corner. Inside the baseline jumper, no good. Taken by Jackson Hainers. And back to the Centurions. Looking inside for Swan. Doesn't fall, we got a whistle. Foul on Boogie Cook, trying to corral the miss, and it goes back the way of the Bruins. 6.7 left here in the first.
Gotta love the way Boogie Cook plays. I mean, that was just an all-out effort play. It hurts, so hurt it without him if he gets in foul trouble, but you gotta love the way he plays.
Frazier inside right before the buzzer, took some contact, laid it in, and a strong first 8 minutes for Ballard comes to a close. Bruins on top, 21-13. We'll head to the second on Glycat.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville. You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycon.
8-point Ballard lead after one alongside Mark Evans, John Baldridge. Here on Glycat tonight, we thank you for being with us.
2-2-1 out of Ballard coming out of the break.
Cal gets the basketball, and they'll set it up top here. Robinson gets it to Washington, and he lines it up from straight on.
Yeah, took a chance and missed the steal, and Washington made him pay with the three.
Frazier gets it to the open corner three ball, bearing play left alone, and he responds.
Yeah, he's
quick answer there.
He's a heck of a freshman. He can shoot as well as he defends, and he defends extremely well.
Cook inside, took some contact. They're going to call a block. Baron Clay stood in there. The blocking foul assessed, and will send Jordan Boogie Cook, the freshman, to the line for two.
That was a big call because that would have been two on Boogie if that would have went the other way. But you got to like his aggressiveness.
Boogie, one double-double on the season already. And the free throw, no good. Cook, a season high of 15 back against Lexington Christian earlier this month.
Well, they played a quality schedule also. Ballard's really played a fantastic schedule, but they played some good teams. I'm surprised it doesn't have more double-doubles to watch him out on the floor the last couple times I've seen him.
Cook, a 58% free throw shooter, and misses both of them in an empty trip.
Man, that will hurt you. That's something the young man's got to work on.
To the corner, and Culver brings it inside, and there's a foul. You mentioned Christian Academy playing a tough schedule. They're 7-9 entering today, and Ballard 11-6. Ballard coming off two tough losses, as we talked about on the pregame show.
Right. Well, like we talked about too, you had so many football players on a state championship team. It ran way into the season, so Cal got a late start. I mean, with having an entire team that would be on the line, be in the lineup tonight. Plus, the young man Hodge. He's a big loss for tonight. He would make a big difference in this game.
Sam Frazier takes some contact, and we'll have two here at the line. You've been around the girls' game for a long time. You went through that with volleyball. What is that process like, not knowing when your players will be back, not knowing when their season's going to be over?
That's a great point, John, but in today's world, in Louisville volleyball world and basketball world, at Mercy, very few was able to play both. It made it very difficult. So, to be honest, we didn't have that issue too much. We won the state. The last time we won the state, they had a set of twins that were very good volleyball-wise, and they were able to do it. But, it does put you back a little bit. But, when you have a state championship football team, that's winners. So now, Cal, they come onto the basketball court, they expect to win, and that's a big advantage. So I'd rather have those dual sport athletes when you can get them.
Sam Frazier, a 74% free throw shooter, misses the second, but a cleanup by Blake Russell, and he's fouled. And he'll have two here and makes the first. Russell also a 74% free throw shooter on the season. Enters today with 5 double-doubles and 7 games this year with 20-plus points or more.
Yeah, he's quality all the way around. Got the size, moves well, plays defense, handles the ball pretty well, and can make a free throw, which is important.
First points early here in the second go to the Bruins. Inside goes Cook, though, and he's fouled. So Boogie Cook will head to the penalty stripe for 2 shots. They'll assess that on Frazier, his first foul. And the second here on the Bruins in the quarter. Cook, a 58% free throw shooter, making his 11th game this year. And Knight's the first. One more to come, and the free throw is good. So 2 for 2, and it's back to 8-point game.
Yeah, he's even. He's 50%.
Richardson gets it inside. Clay using the baseline. Inside goes Frazier, and he has it from about 8 feet. And taken away by Frazier. Stole it, has it in the corner, and 5 straight. A quick answer by Sam Frazier, and it's a 31-18 game. Those turnovers can lead to points, and that athleticism we've seen from Sam Frazier so far.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching Sam play.
Washington trying to respond, missed it off the back of the lip. Yeah, rebound goes to Russell.
This next 5 minutes is going to be big for the Centurions. I don't know if they can hang in the game.
Richardson right through the defense with a spurt of speed and has the deuce.
Picking up man pressure, just making the pace go and making the Centurions work.
Turner 3-ball to answer, doesn't fall. And Ballard starting to draw some separation here. Frazier inside the 3-point line. To Richardson, and they skip it around the perimeter. Hayden back to Richardson. Looking inside for the bigger Russell. And got it taken away from the backside and flex out of play. Ballard's starting to really show their athleticism and kind of take it to them here in the second quarter so far.
Well, I think not being able to sub, as Centurions not been able to sub much, they look tired out there right now. This is going to be a big 5 minutes. They're very winded.
You mentioned not having Connor Hodge, their senior guard for the Crusaders here tonight. Had to flex out a play back to Cal. But how much of a loss is that, and how much is that had he put on Washington?
Well, I think that's a key thing. He's one more great ball handler that attacks the basket well, and they have to appreciate him, and they have to pinch in on him, and that's when Washington gets a lot of his outside jump shots. You take that away, plus you're taking another good handler away. I just think it's a big factor tonight. It's a big factor.
Turner kick out to Man Robinson. He's got the 3. Back to 12. Richardson to the rack, kicks it back out. Looking inside and back to Richardson. 3-ball left side, and it's good.
Yeah, he's a good lefty. He can make that 3. He's a 3-level player. He's also a great assist man. He does a good job.
15-point Bruin lead. And inside go the Crusaders with Washington, and he'll go back to the line. It's going to go on Hayden. And the second foul there on the junior and Nick Hayden. And we'll send Washington the line for 2 shots.
Game's moving along pretty fast. It's definitely got a pace to it. You can't turn your head.
First free throw falls. Christian Academy averaging about 60 points per game, giving about 65 per contest. Meanwhile, for Ballard, 58 they're averaging per contest and allowing about 50 points per game. 36-22 right now with 4:20 left here before halftime. The second free throw falls home. So a 13-point Bruins lead.
2-2-1 press by the Centurions.
And a blocking foul before they could cross the timeline.
Yeah, the young man needs to push him to the outside a little bit for that trap coming up. He squared up on the play that time, and they got him a foul.
To the corner, 3 ball right side. And once again, the 3 falls home, this time by Caleb Miller.
Yeah, he's also a really quality offensive and defensive player.
Robinson skips it across. Inside goes Washington into the paint. Missed the shot. Second chance. Rattled around the rim. Doesn't fall. Able to get it back is Washington. And we got a hold. Looking for a tie-up. Not able to get one there was Nate Richardson. And called for the hold.
Thought that was great effort from J.J. Washington, though. 3 opportunities. I mean, a lot of contact both ways, and it was impressive.
Throw it in with Turner. Looking to get it back for Howard. Back up top, Robinson left side. Misses it. Second chance though. Washington 3 ball. Leaves it short. 2-on-2 break. Culver looking inside for Richardson. Cutting to the cup. And hit off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound to Cook and an offensive foul.
That's a big one right here with 3 minutes to go. That's at least 2 on Boogie Cook.
His second foul and the team's 5th here with 3:24 left in the quarter.
Yeah, player control. He's out of control in that one. It was a tough one.
16-point Bruin lead here in this first half. Richardson throws it inside and taken away, a bad pass. Robinson, right side, the 15-footer doesn't fall. And back and forth, misses both ways. And the Bruins get it back.
Yeah, the Centurions are living by the jump shot with the exception of Washington driving.
Gets it blocked. Russell got it snagged away and taken away by the Crusaders. Inside Washington, back out front. 3 ball top of the arc, doesn't fall. And taken away by Culver. Stays a 16-point game. Kick out to the corner. 3 ball left side by Miller, doesn't fall. And misses, starting to show both ways here late in this first half.
Well, you got Ballard trapping on missed shots, and that's really something.
What a move! And a slam home by Boogie Cook. Went right around his defender and threw it home. Timeout used by Ballard. A quick response there by the Crusaders to show some life. Still down 14 as we take a timeout here with 2:22 left in the second on Glycap.
Not just flies. Line to rent. Not just flies.
Glycon on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycon.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycon.
Timeout used by Ballard after the dunk by Jordan Boogie Cook, and it's exactly what you need, Mark, if you're trying to fight back into this thing, show some life here in this first half.
Absolutely. Cal's not giving up by any means. They're just up against a tough one. They're 2-2-1 in it again on the press. You know, they're trying to get back in it by pressure and trying to turn them over with some traps, and it's worked a couple times.
14-point Bruins lead. They've led the whole way. It's been a 1-point game, but Ballard has been in control.
Yeah, with 2:10 to go, as I keep saying, this next couple possessions are big for the Centurions.
Hayden swings the corner to Miller. Gets it back to Nick Hayden. And defense, as you mentioned. And Hayden picks it up, and we got a tie-up. Strong defensive play by the Crusaders. And the possession arrow will keep it with Ballard.
Yeah, saved them a turnover that time, Ballard did. See what they run on this inbounds plays. Coach Willis has some nice sets.
They'll throw it in with Culver and get it back up top to
There it
Frazier.
is. There's a 3 shot out of it.
Culver no good. And a foul called. Second chance, able to corral the miss was Caleb Miller. That will send Ballard to the line.
Yeah, Miller did a nice job of seeing that shot and getting to the weak side. It's where you want to be on a shot from one side to the other.
Miller, one of the seniors on this Bruins roster. 3 for 6 from the stripe this year and makes the first. Miller playing in his 17th game on the season, averaging a little over 4 contests. Goes 2 for 2 and a 41-25 game. High scoring on this Friday night.
Ballard fell out of the press, just playing straight up man.
Washington inside, missed the rim. Second chance doesn't fall for Howard. We got a whistle. We'll check the whistle to see what the foul is. And a timeout, Cal. I believe it's going to stay with the Crusaders with 1:33 left here in the second and a 16-point Ballard lead. We'll take a timeout and have the remaining part of the second here in a moment on GlideCap.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech 24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by Tech 24.
Welcome back to Ballard High School. A 16-point Bruins lead on top of the Crusaders of Christian Academy, and Cal about to throw the basketball in. A minute 30 left here in this first half. Inside goes Miles Howard, and back up top to their leading scorer and J.J. Washington here today. Gets it inside, a beautiful look, and the shot doesn't fall for Jack Maris, but a second chance, and able to respond is the Crusaders. Timeout again used here, this time by Ballard, and it's back to 14-point game. Strong response there, and Ballard used a quick timeout. What do you think they're talking about here?
Well, I think he's putting in 5 new players. I think he's upset with the defense, basically allowing them to penetrate and beat him to the middle of the basket.
What does Christian Academy need to do if they want to claw their way back into this thing?
They're going to have to be able to defend, and they have to knock down some of these open looks. You know, only Washington can do only so much, and right now he's doing a nice job of getting his teammates some really nice open looks. They're just not knocking down the shots, and if those don't go down, then their night's going to get longer, not shorter.
The 14-point game right now after the timeout. Bruins get the basketball, bring the length of the floor.
Full court pressure. We'll see if it's token. Yes, it is. They're going to drop out. They're not going to look to trap. The Centurions, that is.
Richardson hands it off. And up top they have it with Hainers. Looking inside for the big Blake Russell. Tightly guarded at the right block. 50 to go here in the quarter, almost taken away. Inside again, Hainers dumps for Russell, and a charge. Stood in there and fell to the deck, was a Crusader, and gives it back to Cal.
Yeah, that was Boogie Cook that took that charge. like I said, I like him on both ends of the court. He's quite the freshman.
So a chance to cut the deficit here late in this first half of play with 41 to go. Full court pressure on by the Bruins.
Now let's see if they give Washington an open look this time. Let's see if they chase him. They don't. I thought they might just stay right with him.
Cook gets inside the lane. Pulls from 5, and it's no good. Off the front of the rim. Rebound back to the Bruins. Sika just checked in. 3-ball left side, no good. Rebound goes the Crusaders. 8 to go here before halftime. Washington pulls up a 3 left side, doesn't fall, tipped around, kept alive by the Bruins, and that's the end of the first half of play. Strong first half by Ballard here at home, on top by 14. We'll take a timeout, have the halftime stats in a moment on Glycat.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Welcome to Holy Smokes Barbecue.
At Holy Smokes Barbecue, our pitmasters smoke up mouth-watering ribs, chicken, brisket, mutton, and more. From sandwiches to full dinners, with a complete list of sides and desserts. Holy Smokes Barbecue. Just tell them that the man in the big white hat sent you.
Order up! How's the pork chop taste?
It's pretty good. It's the best one I've ever had.
Holy Smokes Barbecue. Tell them the man in the big white hat sent you.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
Rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something at school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tinsley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tinsley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, a tradition of corporate excellence and community service. For more, visit tfcfamily.com.
Bruins on top of the Centurions at halftime by a Score of 41-27. Back with Mark Evans. I'm John Baldridge and our producer Jeff Cooper. Mark, it was a back and forth game early on, but I felt like Ballard kind of found their groove, and that depth showed more of a factor in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. Like I said, I've seen Ballard a little bit more than I've seen Cal this year, but I'm really impressed with Ballard's depth overall. They go a good strong 8-9 deep, and there at one time Cal's fighting for their lives, and I looked over and looked down, and I saw two of the best players on the Bruins sitting on the bench watching, taking a break. And the Centurions didn't get any of that. I don't think you saw Washington out of the game, and I think it took its toll, and I think that's why you see the difference. Plus the shooting. A lot of times when your legs are dead, we talked about, JJ setting up his players and making nice passes. All their shots are short, and their legs are dead. So I think that's really hurt them, and I see it in their shooting percentages.
You mentioned J.J. Washington. He's played all 16 minutes in this first half, and without Connor Hodge, their second leading scorer, the senior not playing tonight, it's more led on Washington, of course, but it feels like those second pieces for Ballard's kind of been the story. They've had so many different guys they've gone to. It really hasn't just been one guy tonight.
Oh, no. And that's, they one of the things that Coach Wilson's so impressed with his kids is they really like each other. They share the ball fantastically, and they trust each other. And they have several players on the court at any time that can knock down threes, take the ball to the rim, and then they all play good defense. He was mad at the end of the half, I'll tell you. He wasn't happy with his defense. That's why he used the timeouts. That's why he subbed out almost completely off of a different five, because he didn't like that they were giving in a little bit when he could have been pushing out a lead.
Tonight's scoreboard is brought to you in part by Holy Smokes Barbecue and Grill. Tell the man in the big white hat sent you. 7508 Preston Highway and 502-968-5657. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering. Some of those stats in the first half, you want to go through them real quickly?
Yeah, we can. Let's look at the Centurions. We talked about the struggles they've had from the outside. They're 8 of 28 for 29% from the field. They're only 22%, 2 of 9 from the three-point line. And they are getting to the free throw line, and they're 6 of 9 for 67%. But look at the Ballard Bruins. They're 14 of 27 for 52% from the field, and that's quality. Okay, that's better than they normally do in the season so far. 50% from the three-point line. You'll take that any day of the week. They made 5 of 10. And they're all unchallenged shots. They're all kickouts. 75% from the free throw line. They've only had 4 shots, but they made 3 of them. So, they're having a quality offensive night where the Centurions have worn down and not getting the ball in the basket.
Tonight's first half stats brought to you in part by German American Bank. Support your community with the German American School Spirit Check Card. Visit GermanAmericanBank.com for more information. We'll come back, give you the keys to second, get you set for second half action here from Ballard in a moment.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492.
You cannot depend on Carl to make peace with his seatbelt. Or on Beth to choose the best meal to go.
Is that soup?
Or on Stephanie's perfect parking spot to stay perfect. But you can depend on their car starting because they have Interstate batteries. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Innovation is what allowed us to reach for the stars. And now, to reach for the ignition without changing your oil for what feels like forever. Introducing Oil Guard, a Ferris exclusive. This innovative Vanguard oil system lets you go 5 times longer between oil changes. Along with Ferris's patented suspension system, you'll cut faster, mow longer, and reduce maintenance.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching.
Well, they got to run these balls off. We welcome you back on Glycat here tonight with Mark Evans, John Baldridge, a 14-point Ballard lead at the break, and we head to the second. Some keys real quickly you think Cal needs to do to get back into this thing?
Well, I was thinking about that, but the Centurions are going to have to get stops on the defensive end. That's going to be their greatest challenge. And then, as I said earlier, some of the, other than Washington, somebody on Centurions has got to knock down some open shots. So far, that's not happening. Part of that just credit the Ballard defense, but that's what's going to have to happen.
Centurions start with the basketball. They'll get it to the free throw line, the jumper up in the air, and it falls for Miles Howard.
They're going to have a lot of those.
Clay has it right side. First touch for Ballard in the second half.
Centurions man-to-man.
Inside, Frazier, a full head of steam, got downhill, missed the shot, but right there to clean it up on the other end is Blake Russell.
Yeah, that's what Russell does so well. They know if they get the ball up on the rim. Russell does a great job of finding the weak side boards and putting it back in.
Washington, the elbow jumper is good for two.
And as we talked, the Centurions have to have stops. They just have to have stops. You're not going to outscore them if you don't stop them.
Russell picked up by Cook. Fades back from 5, left side, and has it. 14-point game.
Yeah, beautiful face up that time by Russell.
Inside using the baseline goes man Robinson. And some contact on the drive. For the Bruins, what was told in the halftime locker room for their head coach and Greg Willis, just stick with what you got going out there, or anything you change up?
I think Coach Willis was talking about his defense. I think he thought that they took a break, and instead of putting the game away completely, they gave up a good opportunity. So I think he was hot on them with their defense, because that's an effort thing.
Russell fouled inside by Boogie Cook, and Blake Russell will have two. Russell, the 6'9" senior, and we've seen his size shown here tonight. And the 74% free throw shooter will have two here at the line.
Yeah, he shoots 68%. That's pretty good.
Righty's free throw falls home. It's a 15-point Bruin lead and one more to come for the righty. Free throw up, and it's good.
Ballard's out of the press. They're just picking up straight man right now. Oh, maybe a little different. A little bit of zone action. They're in a 2-3 zone. John.
Cook at the free throw line, swishes it home.
Well, Christian Academy Centurions are 3 for 3 to start the half. That's pretty good. But unfortunately, they've given up some points. And they're back in a 2-3 themselves. So we have 2-2-3 zones going on for our defenses.
Hayden swings the corner. Inside they get it. 5-footer by Russell doesn't fall. Left it short. Rebound to Robinson. Robinson has it out front and will reset it. 5:30 and change here left in the third.
The Bruins are back to man-to-man. I didn't think they'd stay zone long and let Washington stand outside and shoot the ball.
Kick out. 3 ball is good. Fouled on the shot. And J.J. Washington has a chance for a 4-point play.
Yeah.
That's what you need if you're going to fight back into this thing.
Well, they're perfect so far from the field. You need a lot of help when you're down that much, especially against a good Ballard team. But I'll tell you what, they've come out and done a nice job so far. And that was a great shot. I mean, he knocked that down with contact on a fadeaway from the three-point line.
I know you got a chance to see Ballard this week. This is the first time for me seeing either of these two teams. And I tell you, J.J. Washington's really stood out.
Oh, absolutely.
Inside they have it with Ballard and get it back up top. Russell at the left block, gets in the lane, puts up the right hook, and got it to fall.
Yeah, he likes that little jump hook, and he can do it with right or left hand, go either way over either shoulder, which is a testament to his coaching and his hard work.
Turner hands it for Washington. Cook in the lane. Back out Washington. 3 ball. Left it short. Didn't hit anything.
I think that got tipped a little bit too, John.
Behind the back went Frazier at the timeline and dialed it up from the top of the arc. 52-36. And the Bruins starting to draw some deep separation. Inside Cal gets it in the paint. And Cook took some contact.
Well, Cal did a nice job of attacking that 2-3 zone and got the ball where they wanted to get the ball, but a foul kind of negated the play for them.
For those latest updates on all things high school athletics and continuous score updates, visit FlightCat.com. We enjoy what we do and appreciate your support. Foul here on Cal. An offensive foul gives it back the Bruins.
That was a big foul there. They can't afford him off the floor. It's 4 fouls, so you won't see him for a bit.
So Cook checks out. Full court pressure on here by Christian Academy. To the corner, and able to answer again, Sam Frazier from long range.
Yeah, Sam doesn't miss those shots. He loves that corner. He loves the top, too. He can shoot them from anywhere.
Frazier averaging 17 per game and coming out here in the second half and sparking the offense. There's a foul underneath. As that's going to go on Barron Clay.
Yeah, Washington with another split the zone well and attacked well.
4 fouls for the Ballard Bruins here in the quarter. 2 on Christian Academy. And 2 upcoming here at the line. First is good.
That could play a real factor, John. You know, if Centurions can get some stops down there on the Bruins side and get the ball back and attack the basket and get into the 5 free throw deal, I'd take my chances with Washington shoot with no time moving on the clock. That might get them back in the game.
Second goes home, and 2 for 2 for J.J. Washington.
But they still have to have a stop on the defensive end, and that's a challenge with this Ballard team.
17-point Bruin lead. Culver got it. Strong pull up by Jaden Culver.
Yeah,
it's back to 19.
I like his game. He takes what he gets, and he plays good defense. A lot of times he'll play on the better offensive player.
We talked about it at halftime. There's not been one guy tonight. It's been a whole bunch of different pieces for this Ballard team. And up 19. An deflection out of play keeps it with Christian Academy.
Well, I think it'd be fair to say they're one of the better teams in the state of Kentucky. They've had a few tough losses, but they have all covered, and they have a quality depth.
Centurions get it in and do so to Washington. Washington draws some contact inside the three-point line, and that'll be the 5th foul here on the Bruins. And we'll send the Centurions in line for 2 shots. So J.J. Washington back to the penalty stripe with 3:20 left here in the third quarter. Righty's free throw, no good.
I think you might see Ballard put a little pressure on as far as full court. I don't think they want him to just keep attacking the basket on them in the half and get near the line.
One more to come for Washington, and goes 1 for 2. So it's a 57-39 game.
Man-to-man by the Centurions. Switching.
Inside goes Culver, right passer is defender and has the layup. 20-point game. Ballard on top. Hall has it, gets it back out front to Robinson. And the corner skip pass. Robinson left baseline jumper, and he's got it.
Nice pull-up.
Culver on the other end, a little too strong. Back to Cal. Down 18, inside Washington, tightly guarded by Culver. Got inside the lane and is fouled. They'll assess that, on Nick Hayden. And that will send J.J. Washington back to the line for 2.
Yeah, he's tough to guard. They're having a tough time with him. Like I said, in this bonus situation, he can make up some distance if the Centurions could just get a stop on the other end.
First free throw is good. I grew up here in Louisville, and I always talked about Ballard's pace throughout high school. And now a couple of years later, my senior year of college, same story. Ballard has a very fast pace and something that you're very accustomed to if you are a Ballard Bruin basketball fan.
Well, all through their time, all their coaches have been up-tempo. I've known most of them for all the years, and Coach Renner was the last one here before Coach Willis took over, and they only play one way, and that's get up and down and make it happen. Always great in transition, always free. They play free. The coaching does a great job of having those kids play loose and free.
It's a fun thing to watch, too, as Washington goes 2 for 2. For Christian Academy, back to a 16-point game. To the corner. And Culver has it, gets inside. And Frazier, their leading scorer. Beautiful handoff in the lane. Shot no good, second chance, tipped up in the air, and Russell stays with it after his own miss.
Once again, you see the depth. You've got 2 or 3 different players in. 2 or 3 quality players sitting on the Bruins bench taking a break. So that's really going to make it happen in the fourth quarter, I do believe.
Kellen Hall's first bucket. 61-45. Throw up a lob for Russell and taps it in. Got his hand up there and just enough over the rim. Get it back to 18. Washington, baseline left side. Swirled the iron. Doesn't fall home. Russell again inside. Picked up by Washington and just left it short. All extra pass. 3-ball Robinson left side to the left point. No good. Back and forth, this pace we see, and Culver tries to respond for the Bruins. No good. 63-45. And some sloppiness as ball hits the floor. Kept alive, though, by Frazier inside, and Sam Frazier to the rack and is fouled. 49.6 left, and the Stars are coming out to play tonight. Sam Frazier showing up.
Yeah, Sam Frazier is something special. No doubt about it. And he lets the game come to him come to him. He's unselfish. All this team, the Ballard team is all unselfish, though.
Christian Academy down 19. Aaron Hill in his 5th year as their head coach. Have you been happy with their performance in the second half?
Well, I think they're doing a better job than they did in the first half. I think that they've done the best they can. They're making some shots this half. That's really kept them in the game, but this Ballard team is just throws waves, wave after wave after wave at you. But, the Cal team's hanging in there.
Frazier gets it back to a 20-point game. He'll check out with 50 to go here in the third quarter. And that pressure on again.
Well, you're seeing Ballard pick up full like we talked before. They're tired of watching Washington run through them.
Swan gets inside and took some contact.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That was a bang play, but I'm not so sure that the young man wasn't out of control and potentially charged at that time.
Rollins Swan will have 2, and the free throw is good. Swan 64% from the line in his junior season. 1 more to come. And the free throw is good.
Cal's trying to pick up a little full.
Kick out, extra pass. Back up top for Hainers. And he'll draw some contact with 29 left in the quarter. We mentioned it in our keys. You felt like that Ballard pace was just a little bit faster. And that's kind of been the story here through the last couple quarters.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any doubt.
Jumper falls left side for Richardson.
The Ballard Bruins just have so many weapons, John, whereas I don't see that with the Centurions. I see a couple dominant players and then one's missing tonight.
3 ball by Robinson on the other end, no good. Taken away by Richardson, 2 left. Richardson gets it over right side. 3 ball by Miller. Got it off in time, but doesn't fall. Strong third, though, by Ballard here at home. And on top by 20 as we go to the 4 on Glycat.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycod.
Second game of our doubleheader tonight here on Glycod, and we head to the 4th quarter with Mark Evans, John Baldridge at our broadcast table here at Ballard.
Got Calvin man-to-man, and Ballard just running their sets.
Russell inside and has it for 2.
And Russell does what Russell does, make moves and make shots.
Washington throws it high off the cylinder, no good. And that tempo once again. Inside goes Richardson, snuck out of the lane, knocked it down left side for about 6 feet.
Yeah, Richard, he does a great job of little pull-ups. You haven't seen a lot of them tonight because he just picks and chooses his roles, but he can do that at any time.
And really impressed how Ballard's been able to drive through the lane a lot, get it down low inside, and nice move right there by Boogie Cook to answer. But Ballard showing their potential and how far they can go this year as Boogie Cook has 1 more to come here.
Well, they have a 2-point loss by the team that's leading the state right now in St. X in a big tournament. So that tells you they can play with anybody out there.
Cook trying to add the and one, and no good. So it stays a 22-point game. A minute in here in this fourth quarter. Richardson, top of the arc three, no good. The rebound taken away by Jordan Boogie Cook. He'll bring it across. Three ball by Turner, doesn't hit anything. Turner back inside after Cal's able to corral the miss.
Yeah, great job by Turner as far as extra effort goes. Did a nice job there.
Jumper no good, left side, and rebound goes to Christian Academy. Centurions inside once again with Washington, and he has the jumper for two. Timeout used here by the Bruins. We'll take a break. It's a 22-point Ballard lead on Glide Cap.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham, always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycon.
Timeout used by the Bruins after a couple quick buckets by Christian Academy in a 71-53 game. And you got to be happy if you're Ballard. But meanwhile, for Christian Academy, feels like you've done a lot of stuff right tonight.
Yeah, but you got to make shots. There's shot takers and shot makers, and right now they only have about one or two players on the court that can make a 15-foot shot. And for tonight, I mean, anybody can have a bad night. It could be part of their legs and lack of depth. As far as Ballard goes, I think that last time out was mainly Coach wasn't real happy with some of their quick shots they were taking. So I think he wants to see a little bit more ball movement.
Richardson throws it up high and able to slam it home is Blake Russell. Back to a 20-point game. 73-53, and taken away by Frazier. Just barely stepped on the sideline. Would have been a coast-to-coast break. It goes back to Christian Academy. Inside they go. Doesn't fall there for Swan. Looking to get it back inside for Boogie Cook.
That was a great block by Sam Frazier from behind. That just shows you how athletic that young man is. That was special.
So they'll trigger it in. Turner gets it in.
For the first time, too. Let's see.
Washington to Turner in the corner. Behind his back and draw some contact.
Yeah, well, the Centurions are going to have to get to the line if they're going to catch up. I mean, they're going to have to force Ballard to make plays, foul, but they're also they have to get stops on the other end, and so far that's just not been able to happen tonight.
They'll get it into Cook, and back out front, three ball straight on, no good. Taken by Washington, and a foul here on the Centurions.
I wouldn't be surprised here when next couple, taking care of what I was going to say, Boogie Cook, they're going to start taking him in and out. They're going to take him out on defense. They're going to put him back in on offense.
5:39 to go in the fourth.
I stand corrected. The reason he went out was he fouled out, what I was concerned about.
So Boogie Cook out of the ball game.
Which is a big loss.
Crucial loss for a player averaging about 8 points per game. Three ball is good, and it's a 23-point game. 76-53. Washington gets inside, drives into the lane, and missed it. Rebound kept alive. A second chance doesn't fall for Hall. Hall trying to keep it alive on the left side and taken away. Couple of looks, both clean, And back to the Bruins.
Yeah, Nick Hayden's always making plays, and that was another good rebound by him.
Richardson. Under 5 we roll. Free throw line jumper by Hayden. Doesn't fall. Kick out to the corner. 3 ball up in the air and good. Swan has it from distance.
Yeah, I think John, lot too little too late on this as far as making shots.
20-point game where we sit. And a 3 ball again trying to answer there was Hayden.
Yeah, Hayden usually knocks these shots down. He hasn't really looked for many shots tonight. He didn't have to, but he usually will knock them down.
Aiken puts one in. Going to the back half of the bench in the junior, and Micah Aiken has it. Lob up top, and Russell again able to put it in.
It'd be great to be a good big man on this Ballard team because the teammates make sure he gets the ball and sees the ball. Makes them awful tough.
Inside for Hall and taken away. Now, when I was in middle school and grade school, I was always a big man, so I had to work on the drills on the right block and the left block, and something you can get accustomed to. 3 ball is good by Hayden, but it feels like a lot of these big men for this Ballard team can play the guard position as well. They can really handle the basketball well.
Well, I think that any great player has to be able to do it all. You know, the days of 2 post players standing in under the basket and that's all they can do is make a up and under or a lift move, those are gone. I mean, you watch the NBA now, you have all these 7-footers shooting threes. You watch college games, 7-footers shooting threes. I mean, you look at Durant. I mean, you know, that's the name of the game nowadays. And these kids got a lot of extra help, and they're skilled. I mean, you know, this Richardson's really skilled.
Raylan Swan with the offensive foul, and he'll take a seat. And back to Ballard. Up 81-59 inside Richardson, and got it stuffed.
Yeah, that was a heck of a block by Guy Turner that time. Richardson's tough. He uses his body well. Great sportsmanship, too, between the two of them.
As a coach, was there anything you favored more coaching to practice? The guards, you like spending more time with them, or the forwards? Did you mix it up a lot back and forth?
I had really great coaches around me, so I spent a lot of time going from back and forth all the time. But, you know, if I had a preference, I had such good guard coaches, I probably spend more time with my post players.
Robinson puts it in. And a hefty number tonight, 83 for Ballard. Turner at the free throw line, pulls and no good. Rebound taken away by the Bruins. And on the baseline. Baron Clay stepped out. We'll keep it with the Centurions. Good crowd has filed in for a fun night of hoops. And Ballard about to take both games on the girls' and the boys' side here on Glycow tonight.
Coach Willis has done a nice job getting his players in the game too, but he's done a great job of rotating them all night long.
Kellen Hall took some contact in the lane. That'll be the team third foul here in the quarter on Ballard 2 on Christian Academy. They'll get it in and get it back up top and almost taken away. Saved by Jackson Burke. Christian Academy going to the back half of their bench as well in this later stage.
You know, Coach Hill, though, he's battled and battled and battled. They all seem to really respond to him over there on that Centurion team. He's just been a little short-handed tonight, I do believe.
And you talked about St. X having one of maybe the best program right now overall this year in the state of Kentucky. Coach Hill being assistant there for a long time, was assistant here at Christian Academy before coming the head coach in his 5th year with this program.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. Like I said, tonight, first thing I noticed was he was missing a key player. In a night, he couldn't afford to miss that key player. He couldn't afford to miss a quality guard like he lost.
Connor Hodge not going tonight. The bucket there for Christian Academy. Inside goes Jackson Hainers.
Nice little up and under. Nice little up and under. You were talking about, your post moves way back when. That's all that was a little lift move, a little step through.
My post moves were more of like turning it over in the lane, but, you know, I call them moves.
So you didn't have that jump hook on left or right shoulder, and you didn't watch a Mark Few tape and get really good at post moves and footwork.
I had it when they're in my hands. They're going to take it away and go coast to coast on me. But, you know, I didn't play high school basketball. So.
Well, you're great on the play-by-play, no doubt about it. So you definitely have some super skills.
Well, it's been a fun game tonight, and Ballard rolling right now, up 23.
Yeah, maybe a little more fun for Ballard tonight, but yeah.
Turner behind his back, nice kick out. Burt gets it over to Robinson, baseline, jumper no good. We'll talk about where both teams go from here on the post-game show. Final stats and wrap it up on Glycat. 3-on-2 break. Inside Washington, back in the ball game, and draw some contact underneath.
Yeah, he's quite the player. I think we've had a treat tonight watching him battle, and he didn't have a lot of help, unfortunately. It just didn't fall for his other players.
First falls for Washington. Bauer will make a couple of substitutions as Cole Harrison will check in here. As Greg Willis going to the back half his bench. Free throw is good. So an 84-63 game with 1:20 to go. We thank you for being with us wherever you may been tonight. See this action on Glycat. And taking away a bad pass, Robinson, and he'll lay it in.
Yeah, man, Robinson did a really nice job of reading that pass to Lynn and getting down and taking that chance out of his man-to-man and gets a layup out of it.
I've been really impressed with Man Robinson tonight. He's kind of stepped up, and with the loss of Connor Hodge, has been able to play that point guard position very well.
Yeah, I thought so too. I agree 100%. But he's a key to them anyway. I mean, he averages 6 a game, couple rebounds, and he's a kind of an all-around player.
3-ball left side, no good. Rebound back to Christian Academy, under a minute.
Seen a lot of youth out there now getting the opportunity to get on the court on a varsity game.
It's got to be a treat for the parents as well to see their kid out there working so hard in practice and finally getting this time on the floor.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's
inside, and Jack Maris has the deuce. A lot of practice you got to go through, a lot of games, and to get a chance to see some varsity minutes.
But like you said, I always spend more time in every practice I ever had. I spent about most of my time with the kids that didn't play as much, making sure that they knew how important they were to the team. I always took that extra, made sure that they were talked to every day and so on and so forth. Because it's tough working hard every day and not getting out there and playing as much.
Skip pass, left side. Inside, they throw up a lob, and it's no good. And that's how tonight's ball game comes to a close. Ballard dominant here at home as they win it 84-67 on Glycat. We'll wrap it up on the post-game show next. Stay with us for that as Ballard victorious here on this Friday night.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Check it. Ooh.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville. Blunt Dental Group is a high-quality, family-owned dental practice. We are committed to educating our patients, as well as investing in the latest technology to provide more efficient dental care. Our team of licensed dentists and hygienists includes 2010 Male High graduate Tyler Blunt, located in the heart of Linden at 8013 New LaGrange Road, Suite 6. For an appointment, call 502-425-7068 or go online at bluntdentalgroup.com. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by the Army National Guard. Protect what matters most to you. Visit your nearest National Guard recruiter or nationalguard.com.
Final score tonight, 84-67, Ballard victorious at home as they get off a 2-game losing streak. Back with Mark Evans, John Baldridge here with you. And it was close for a while on, but it felt like that pace was just a little faster, a little better for Ballard, and they come home victorious.
Well, I just think Ballard has so much balance, and it showed tonight. They can score from so many different places. They are so deep. They're 8-9 deep, and they're all quality, and they all can score if they need to. They play tenacious defense up and down the court. They can play multiple types of defenses, but they really more pressure and man. I think that was the biggest piece of it. You know, I looked over at the Centurions, and I think, you know, Coach Hill does a great job, but you can only do with what you got. And tonight, you know, the supporting players for JJ just didn't knock down shots. I mean, and they hit a few from time to time, but, you know, in these big type games, you got to be able to make your shots, and it just didn't happen. You know, for a lot of reasons. Maybe the pace got their legs and they were short on everything. I don't really know, but I know that Coach Hill does a great job, and they'll be better for it, and they'll find ways to get better in the future.
Yeah, they foster a very strong presence if you're Ballard. They're able to get the ball inside and work it well, and a team that's going to be a tough out no matter how far they go this season. For Christian Academy, I promise with J.J. Washington, I think they got to find more than one piece, as you mentioned, is the key factor for them.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Connor Hodge can make shots. He can knock down shots. He can attack the basket. He was missing tonight. I'm really impressed with Boogie Cook, Man Robinson did some really nice things, and I'm sure there were others that I might have missed. I don't want to leave any kid out that played a good ball game. But, they just, bottom line is, when it's all said and done, talk all you want about defense, you still got to put the ball in the basket. And I just don't think that the Turians had enough defensive weapons to turn over and to keep Ballard at bay. They just do such a nice job of getting the ball to the right people at the right time.
Well, the story tonight, the Bruins pick up a victory, get off a losing streak, and win it 84-67. We'll come back, give you the final stats, some of our players that caught our eye, and wrap it up here in a little bit. Your final score, Ballard wins at 84-67 on Glide Cap.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
Blunt Dental Group is a high-quality, family-owned dental practice. We are committed to educating our patients, as well as investing in the latest technology to provide more efficient dental care. Our team of licensed dentists and hygienists includes 2010 male high graduate Tyler Blunt, located in the heart of Linden at 8013 New LaGrange Road, Suite 6. For an appointment, call 502-425-7068 or go online at bluntdentalgroup.com. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time. While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
Back here at Ballard High School alongside Mark Evans, John Baldridge, our producer Jeff Cooper, back on the post-game wrap-up show as Ballard victorious in both games tonight in the girls varsity and also the boys varsity, winning the varsity boys game 84-67. We look at some of the final numbers from today's contest, brought to you in part by German American Bank, supporting your community with the German American Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmericanBank.com. Coach, what stood out to you in those numbers?
Well, of course, the shooting percentages stood out, John. Cal continued the second half to struggle. They shot a little bit better in the second half, but they were 11 of 29 for 38% from the field. They were 4 of 9 from the three-point line, which is good at 44%. And they were really good at the free throw line, but most of those free throws came from J.J. Washington, where they were 9 of 11 for 81%. Those are second half stats. I already gave you the first half.
Yeah.
As far as the Bruins, they continue to shoot the ball really well. They shot over 50%. They were 19-34 for 56% from the field, 5 of 9 from the three-point line, and they were very selective for 56%. And they only shot a couple free throws, and they were 2 of 2 in that second half for 100%. But the numbers don't lie, you might want to say. And not only did they get a lot more shots, 5 more shots, they really made a lot of shots.
I think the story is that Ballard is very talented. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of experience, a lot of size. They can move it at a fast pace, and a team that's going to be a tough out for anybody in the tournament, around tournament time. And meanwhile, for this Cal team, they can move pretty fast as well. They can go and definitely win some basketball games, and it should be interesting to tell what happens later comes this year. But tonight's final stats, one more time, brought to you in part by German American Bank, sporting your community with the German American Bank Spirit Check Card. Visit GermanAmericanBank.com for more information. We'll come back, give you our players that caught our eye, and get you out of here on this Friday night. Your final score, Ballard 84, Cal 67 on Glycat.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Line Direct, not just blinds. Line Direct, not just blinds.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit OperationParent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycod.
Looking back on Glycod as Ballard comes home victorious tonight. Picking up a win over Christian Academy. Back with Mark Evans in our final segment today as we look at tonight's most outstanding players, brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance Agent, our good friend here at Glycod, Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, as I always say, State Farm is always there. And Coach, we'll start with Christian Academy. They took the loss, but they were really led by J.J. Washington.
Yeah, he was better than advertised as far as I was concerned. He can do it all and play at all levels, handles it well. He fights the entire game, never gave up. And in his demeanor on the court, I was impressed with. He didn't get frustrated. He just kept battling. So, he's definitely a stat sheet filler, but he's more than that. He's a heck of a player and seems like a heck of a leader on the court.
Ballard, you could give it to plenty of different guys. They really passed the ball well, spaced it out well tonight. You mentioned the word of balance, which I thought was a crucial word, and the way they really played. And, you could give it a whole bunch of guys, but I feel like you have to give it to the guy down low. He was really solid tonight.
Yeah, Blake Russell, 6'9" senior. He can do it all, too. He's smooth. He has all the moves inside, the jump hooks, either hand. They like throwing the ball up to him, letting him put the ball down a little bit. But, he's got a pretty stroke on his free throws, which is important because you get to the line as much as he does. You need to be able to knock them down and reward yourself. So, yeah, but like you said, the cast that Ballard had was awful strong. I've seen him a lot. I've already seen him 2 or 3 times this year, and I'm impressed with them. Not just the talent that they have, but they like each other. And you can tell it on the court. They share the basketball. They have great camaraderie. They pull for each other. You see them when they come. I watch body language on the benches, and I watch kids come off the court and come on the court and so on and so forth. How they're greeted, how they, their attitudes. And, man, they're flawless. I've not seen one negative thing out of that Ballard bunch. So I'm pretty high on them, and I think they have a great shot. But it's an awful tough region. The 7th region is brutal.
Tonight's most outstanding players brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is always there. Christian Academy with the loss. They drop to 7-10 on the season. Get set for their 3rd straight game in 3 days tomorrow. Back at home against Collins. Meanwhile, for Ballard, they get off their losing streak, go to 12-6, and play Monday at Fern Creek. That's going to wrap it up for our entire crew. A busy docket next week on Glycod. You can check Glycod's page for that. And those games are brought to you by Operation Parent. They're equipping and empowering parents with the tools needed to face the issues challenging today's youth. To learn more about their services, visit operationparent.org. For our entire crew, Max Gorley running the camera, making sure your picture looks great, making sure we sound solid tonight and running the 1s and 2s, keeping us out of the rough and in the fairway. Jeff Cooper, for my analyst, and doing all the hard work he did. And Mark Evans, I'm John Ballard signing off as Ballard victorious here at home.
No.
From Glycod, this has been UA Local 502 Louisville Basketball Game Night. UA Local 502, they do it right the first time. Tonight's game was brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, commitment to quality. The Army National Guard, where the next greatest generation is now. German American Bank, building our community together. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust. IBEW Local 369, power up your potential. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles. State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Shelton, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Holy Smokes Barbecue.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, Visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation from Glycod.